steal, saved the game. Came back against 3 inhibitors down, the most insane game of Mobile Legends ever. Maybe in M2, but I say ever. And talk us through it. You're the 2-0s all across, but Philippines, they went 0-2 across the board. So today is their day. Good news for them is they started in the upper bracket, so they still have one more life remaining. You still have that restart button, just one more time. But today, it's all the last chances off the table. You lose in the lower bracket, you go home. So I wanna hear from you guys. What do you think the Filipinos need to do? Because you played against one of them yesterday, but looking at the game from Brand Esports, you told us that you were not expecting Burmese Goals to take them down because they're one of the teams you were watching for. So what is it that you saw that was lacking, or maybe they were underestimating their opponents? What's happening?
I can't comment much on Brand Esports gameplay and else, but I respect Burmese Goals since they brought a lot of effort and they proved them they are stronger than Brand Esports. I really like that, and their gameplay is really fast, and their unique draft make me really want to learn how they play and analyze them. Yeah. It's a really good one, and it's not just about all Indonesian team wins, but I think as an individual teams, I hope RRQ wins today. That's all.
Of course. I mean, you work for them, so you gotta hope that they win. Otherwise, you're not doing your job. But it is one more hurdle for you guys to cross. Burmese Goals. Talking about that, we have today's match that's gonna be flashing up on screen there. So let's look at what's happening today. We got 3 best of 3s, 1 BO5 for today. Here's today's schedule, boys and girls. We have Omega versus Alter Ego. We're gonna be revisiting Alter Ego, the Indonesian superstars that are looking for that lower bracket run. And I hear Odil is going to be playing today. Bren versus Todak will be our second series, followed up by Burmese Ghouls versus RRQ in that first best of 5 we will be seeing today. A best of 5 is a whole new different ball game, no longer the short skirmish. And then the loser of that series, unfortunately, will have to play one more BO3 against the victors from the first 2 series. So it's going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of heartbreaks today. There's 3 teams going home today.
Yeah.
And it's going to be crazy competition. Like we said, the favorites are the only one that's left.
Now, James and Lavelle, I actually want to start this entire discussion right now about Omega Esports against Alter Ego. And this one, I want to do a quote from Butters yesterday because he was going crazy about Yam being on form, but he was not the same Yam that Butters saw at the playoffs. So can you comment on that as well? What did Yam do differently?
So, as we can see, it's not just Yam, it's the entire team. Like, yesterday, Udil didn't play. Cassius played, and Cassius was very, very active in the map, as well as them really activating Yam. And I don't know, this might be a M2 buff or a playoff buff, where when he's on stage, he just feels so good, and then he just gets very, very comfortable, and then he played very, very well. Because the thing about Yam now and the Yam before, during the group stages, he went like 0-4-0, 1-3-0, where he made mistakes in terms of decision making, where he went in when he wasn't supposed to go in, he didn't deal well with pressure, but now he is adding the pressure to the enemy lane, and he looks very good.
Yeah, I spoke to the players. They say he gained a lot of confidence as they move into the playoffs, and that's where you want it. But right now, we have the player hit-to-hits, team hit-to-hits that's going to be coming in. Right now, we got our numbers, boys, the stats, and what I like about this is day 2, we got even more stats to review these teams from, rather than just the group stage matches. Right now, we got more stats coming onto the board. So talk us through this, James. Maybe you want to add in a little bit of that analysis as a coach. What do these numbers mean for the audiences back home?
Alright, so I'm just gonna take it here first. The game played, Omega has played 6 while Alter Ego has played 8. Well, they are going to play the most games if they want to survive from the lower bracket all the way to the finals. Team damage per minute, the thing is, it's not that far off. It's 300, and in the scale of things, that is really big. But the thing is, Omega Esports, they did play a very long game yesterday, so that might have,
skewed the results a little bit.
Skewed the results a little bit, but the average game score, Alter Ego, they are doing pretty, pretty well, 45-38.
Yeah, okay, James. I mean, right now, you are targeting, you guys quote-unquote target Brand Esports as your main rivals. So, studying the Filipino meta, what can you tell us about Omega Esports? In terms of their playstyle, each region's meta is a little bit different. So, is there anything that we might be looking out for? No, what is the Filipinos' key strategy? Is there something that other regions don't do as much?
By looking at the By looking at the graph, I can say that Omega is more towards teamfight oriented teams.
Okay.
They focus a lot on teamfight. You can see the team damage per minute is actually higher than Alter Ego. Whereby the last time I actually think that Alter Ego is a teamfight oriented teams, but actually Omega are strongest in teamfight, as usual, as well as the turtle slang. So I think they focus a lot on objective as well. Because of the teamfight, they get higher average KDA and average kills per game.
Yeah, some of their players actually die very little. I think we looked at that head-to-head yesterday on that player, and he had like 21.5 or something, which is a ridiculous score for your KDA compared to his opponent, which was 4. So.
Yeah, and the unique hero picks, I would say this is more skewed towards Alter Ego just because they play more 8 games to 6, so obviously 4 more heroes played, it's not much. But as we saw in M2, every single team they have brought their own thing. Like 10 Second Gaming, they brought the Sicilian, Carmilla, and then Toda, I would say like usual heroes. It's just that, you know, changing from Chico from the jungler to the side lane and everything, it changed a lot.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about saving strats. It might not just be heroes. It might be lane switch. You never know.
Yeah,
and
I was going to build on that because yesterday you were asking Ducky and our Wolf as well, were they saving strats? Do you think they were with the announcement of Udil, who could be playing today for Alter Ego?
Me?
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to answer your question, and no.
They were not saving strats. You don't think so?
No. I feel like they weren't saving strats. I think they did it on purpose. Like, number one, maybe they want KCS to play to see like how the dynamic works, because as our casters talked about it yesterday, Alter Ego, they have 3 faces. So maybe today we see a different face, maybe a 4th face. Maybe by the next season of MPLID, they will have 6 faces.
Yeah. I mean, they got to give each of their stars a chance to shine. And, well, it's Udil's time. It would have been a shame if they get knocked out yesterday, but they did not. So moving forward, we are going to be looking at them feature Udil, their star player. But right now, we're going to look at Chelly Boy. We got his name wrong until yesterday, so now we're going to call him by the right way, Chelly Boy.
Is it really Chelly Boy?
Yeah, Chelly Boy.
Okay, got it.
I feel like there needs to be H in there if there's going to be Chelly. But
right?
Yeah.
Like CH?
Grammatically or phonetically speaking, right?
Or maybe how they pronounce it in Indonesia for the C's. It could be.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
possible.
Chelly Boy. Chelly Boy.
Yeah. All right. We should be talking about the players
Stats, boys. All right, yeah.
Right, so over here we can see that the KDA is more towards Hajizi, but the goal per minute is more to Chelly Boy, where I just believe that damage per minute, so the lesser the minutes, the more the goal really is, especially when you're farming really well, right? And Omega's game, because of RQ, it went really long, so maybe it was skewed a little bit. Yeah.
Fair. I think overall both teams they have a large reputation to uphold. You know, Omega Esports, although slightly overshadowed by Brand, is still, you know, they say what, Filipino pride, Pinoy pride. So there's a lot riding on the line here. So right now we're going to be looking at the map prediction, where the players are going to be starting, their starting lineup, and what are these lineups saying to you right now? Is it anything out of the ordinary?
Well, right now we can see it's Kenji, Heave, Hajizi, Yelly Hayes, and Kurtizi. And as of right now, they're just showing that the most played heroes. And Benedetta and Yisenshade has been looking really good in M2 so far. So I'm definitely looking at these 2 heroes, whether it's going to be banned out or it's going to be left out for the teams to pick. Because I think both of these teams are very comfortable with both of those heroes.
If anything, yesterday's series actually did prove to us that Benedetta is a little overtuned, you know, with the lifesteal and everything. You know, I didn't believe it myself until I saw it. What you think Benedetta is overtuned, or do you have another hero in mind you think is really crazy numbers-wise?
Well, we are the only team that play Benedetta tank, so...
True.
So you guys should feel the play yesterday.
So you guys are gonna get her nerfed, is what I'm hearing. You guys gotta be responsible. So all Benedetta mains, you guys can blame RRQ for the nerfs upcoming in the next patch. I want to blame all the M2 players for getting Sylvana nerfed as well. I'm a Sylvana main, and you guys are picking too much of her, and Moonton's gonna notice. And they're gonna nerf her, and I'm not gonna be happy about this.
For Alter Ego, of course, Yam, Leo Murphy, Udil, Chelly Boy, and Pi. Thoughts on the lineup?
Yeah, and right now, Udil is playing, and Udil is very good in those stationary mages, where before this, he was really good in the Lunox and such. And in M2, he's been using the Lui, but honestly, any kind of stationary mage, like the Farsas and such, Udil, as I heard, his hero pool is a little bit smaller, but the heroes that he can use, like, almost unbeatable.
He's a specialist, yeah?
He's a specialist, exactly.
Yeah, you bring him in to perform some surgery, and yeah, he'll take their heart out and stuff like that. Okay, I'm getting a little into details.
Yeah, from gamer to surgeon. Exactly.
He's a doctor, right? We had
Doctor,
exactly. He's a doctor.
He's
Yeah,
a
we
doctor.
had a joke yesterday. Yeah,
Yeah,
but he got married.
Well, he got married. Yeah,
Got married,
so
he can no longer doctor. Yeah.
he's only doctoring one person.
Yes. All right. Looking at the map right now, these are where the players are predicted to begin in the Land of Dawn. And anything stands out here? Anything crazy? Looks pretty standard to me.
Like for me, I don't know about James, but I'll be looking at the gold lane between Curtizy and Pi, where as of right now, Curtizy looks a little bit stronger, but I kind of want to see like how it really plays out.
All right, James, do you want to add on that?
I think it's predictable, the Alter Ego lineup right here, and
Okay.
the lane they are going.
Yeah.
It's just whether they will perform like how they perform back in MPOI.
What about hero picks? I want to hear more about hero picks. I think we heard some like Udil is more of a stationary mage kind of guy, and Udil is more of a stationary mage kind of guy. But any of the other players in general, do they have any specifics you want to look at?
I think more or less the same. To me, Omega and Alter Ego, both of them are playing ESS. What you can see is ESS a lot.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
they're just creating space at the front line, and ESS just safe farming and then come out in the middle to late game. So they are kind of mid game win or die situations.
Okay, all right. Mid game brawls are what we're looking at. But right now, audience predictions. Well, what's up with that? Do you all agree?
They're thinking that Omega Esports will win, and here is the thing, Joakim, Blazander, and James. So yesterday, like you brought up that Philippines, they were 0-4. I blame myself.
Yeah.
As you should,
because,
as you should.
Yeah, because
Shame on you, TZ.
because you asked me how I identify, and the moment I identify as a Filipino, they didn't look that strong anymore.
It happened. So
Yeah,
who do you identify as today then?
I'm identifying myself as Indonesian.
Oh boy!
Oh.
Okay,
Oh, no.
the Indonesian coach just got a little sad.
Yeah. So I have two names. I can let the comments decide. It's either Ahmad Lafel or Lafel Lemas. It's either those two.
Lafel Mas sounds good.
Yeah,
Because
because-
an L and L.
Yeah, because
very nice.
there's a Indonesian caster called Ranger Emas. So
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We go
all
from
right.
audience to talent predictions
Yo,
right now.
Talent didn't copy homework today.
45% going for Omega Esports, 55% Alter Ego.
The Filipino boys got more people to join them this round.
Yeah.
They got more supporters. They managed to rally up more troops. And there you go. Butters giving us the double pumps up. And
Oh yeah, sorry, I voted for Alter Ego. That screwed it a bit, I guess.
yeah. Well, at least the talents are more balanced now. You wanna add something, James?
To me, 50-50.
50-50.
Very.
Okay, let's ask this one: 2-1 or 2-0?
Oh,
Yeah, 2-1.
2-1.
2-1 either way.
2-1 because there's nothing to hide. And lower bracket is just you show all your strat, all your strategy, all your.
Well, that's not what Alter Ego were doing yesterday. It's like,
Yeah.
we don't need Udil yesterday. We could still play.
Like that is the question that I do want to ask. Like in case if Alter Ego did lose, will they swap up Udil with Cassius? Like, I don't know.
We're gonna find out because there's nothing to hide.
Yeah.
Right now, lower bracket.
Yeah, lower
Exactly.
bracket.
Now, of course, we got our very first game happening in just a bit. Omega Esports against Alter Ego. In just a bit, going to be handing you to the loving hands of our casters who will be guiding you through all the action. We got Butters, Gideon Q, Joe, as well as Contra. And if you're a fan of Razor and M2, we've got some exclusive giveaways coming your way. Be on standby. The game happening next.
Beaver and Gab, he's in position, look at Black Dragon purple, quickly in for a double, can't get the triple, Flicker has already been used on Papa, and it will be the Roger to secure that one for himself, but Leo gets his slide.
Ya mereka harusnya bermain dengan kayak udah nothing tulus lah. Mereka udah all in dan berasa performa mereka ya bagus banget.
Engagement. Oh, there's gonna be heat. His immortality box inside. He has a few shields to buy time. Oh, Gardizi just in time. Crossbow tank and they burst him. That's heat taken out. R7.
Malungkot kasi natalo kami. Yun. Tapos marami kaming na-disappoint na Filipino fans.
Tim gua nih udah terbiasa dari lower bracket dan gua rasa kita bisa bantai semua lah lewat lower bracket.
Bibigay namin lahat yung best namin bukas
pastinya setiap hari kita nambah percaya diri sih, soalnya sering diskusi juga, sering sharing juga sama yang lain ya. Makin kesini makin pede lah, apalagi dengan kita tadi main, menurut saya sih udah pede banget, semuanya main pada lepas juga semua.
Salamat sa patuloy na pagsuporta niyo sa amin kahit nandito kami sa una. Sana bukas sa laban namin patuloy niyo pa rin kami suportahan. Ibibigay namin lahat. Yun lang.
Welcome to day 2 of M2 World Championship for Mobile Legends BangBang. We would like to give a special thanks to our sponsor, Secret Lab, the award-winning gaming seats engineered for long hours of comfort and sitting form. Available in the Secret Lab official store in major e-commerces in Singapore, or visit secretlab.co.
We would not want to forget to thank Singtel, our partner in esports, to unlock lag-free and ultra-fast gaming experience with Singapore's fastest 5G network. Keep calm and get the edge you need on your road to Mythic in MLBB with Singtel, the Singaporean's fastest 5G network.
Did you know that there is an official live screening event for M2 in Singapore at Cathay Cineleisure Orchard?
What?
Well, it's called MVP, right? It's MVP, and you'll be able to catch all the M2 action on a big cinema screen. What's more is you can also win attractive prizes when you take part in the activities and lucky draws. Now, MVP will be running all week long, and you can get your tickets at the Cathay Cineplex's website, and you can also check out www.rsg.gg/MVP for more information on MVP. Shoutouts to our MLBB community watching at the Cathay Cinema, NUS, Sports Hub, and Bukit Mera Swimming Complex. Ladies and gentlemen, once more, welcome to day 2 of M2. We are in the playoffs. At your service, my name is Leo, joined here by Contra, Gideon Q, and Butters, and we'll be bringing you guys a handful of matches today, and we'll be saying goodbye to a bunch of teams. And my God, did you guys sleep well? I mean, Butters, I know you slept like a rock.
I did. Well, not. It's kind of deep sleep, but it's not because you feel excited. But then again, when they wake you up, you don't respond. It's something like that. It's very difficult to explain.
Honestly, I don't know. I kind of have this like dead sleep where it's just like it feels like nothing is ever happening, but I know it can be a little bit of a struggle.
Okay, well, I'm hoping Contra had a good night's sleep. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and meet the teams fighting off in this first matchup.
All the way from the Philippines, Omega Esports. Oti. He. Kenji. Hajizi. Kurt TZ. Toshi. And Yeli Hayes. Omega Esports.
From the Philippines, Omega Esports.
Alter Ego Esports from Indonesia. Young. Cassius. Leo Murphy. Zellyboy. Pi. And Udin. Alter Ego Esports.
From Indonesia, Alter Ego Esports.
I love it. Today is a much faster clip, and we're just moments away from the draft. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to M2. We just met Alter Ego and Omega. Contra, whenever I see Alter Ego on screen, especially Udil, I get chills.
Yeah, and of course, I do get the chills as well because we're seeing this multifaceted team now bringing him back online to be facing off against the likes of Omega. And we were talking about sleep for a little bit, and I honestly didn't have a good sleep. Just think about how this matchup will go in this lower bracket.
Yeah, well, just to put a little bit of perspective into this, one of these teams won 2-0, right? That's Alter Ego sweeping the Japanese contingent in 10 Seconds Gaming Frost yesterday. Not even batting an eyelash, just straight up, pow, yam, unlock your inner potential. And then next up, it's Omega, who played two very polarizing but just the same difficult matches. 34 minutes, possibly the longest in all M2. I'm not sure what the stats look like. And another 10-minute stomp by RRQ. Now, I'm wondering what it might look like. But for now, let's go ahead and review the brackets. What went down? Gideon, Are these what you expected?
Honestly, this is a little bit of a shocker, especially with just the power level of the Burmese Ghouls here, and they are just absolutely just crushing it right now. But here is their biggest challenge. This is the benchmark here against the first runner-ups coming in with RRQ, and I think everybody is batting their eyes, just saying, nah, they're going to get knocked out. No, they will not. This is going to be the match everybody is waiting for. Burmese Ghouls have proven themselves, and RRQ is still looking on to form.
Yeah, looking at it, we did kind of expect a 50-50 between BG and Bren.
At least a 50-50.
It's a 50-50.
Yeah.
But then again, we didn't really expect one of them to just win it 2-0. We could have expected a 2-1 if ever for both teams. But that happened, and right now I agree with Gideon. RRQ is going to be their next challenge. Now, looking at the bottom side, or the lower bracket here, Bren and Omega, that was a yesterday was a heartbreaking day for Filipinos.
Yeah.
They lost one life already. But do not fret for the Filipino fans, because you still have a life in the lower bracket.
Oh, yeah. Before we dig deep into this next matchup, again, a best of 3 in the lower bracket between Omega and Alter Ego, I gotta ask, there were a couple of other teams we didn't talk about in the lower bracket still fighting for their life here in playoffs at M2, and I think I want to ask, just for the sake of the hometown sentiments, right? Todak just showed us something else yesterday. 4Maze was amazing. Again, we said how this was nothing you saw from the old MPL MYSG. Contra, what are their chances here today?
Well, the chances are looking pretty much on a 50-50 as well, because facing the likes of Brand Esports, I'm hoping to see something else, because that Hayabusa is going to be very predictable coming from the side of 4Maze.
And right here, right now, ladies and gentlemen, on the main stage, that is the turret holding the trophy for M2, and on screen, this young lady responsible for keeping things in check. That's our head marshal, Christina Nang, officiating this matchup. Again, another eliminations round. We're saying goodbye to one of these teams at the end of the best of 3. And on stage, the coach of Omega Esports, that is Coach Dale Dalus, aka Vitug, and Nasi Uduk from Alter Ego. Our representative from Indonesia, one of 2, by the way, one of 2. Indonesia's chances right now, it looks like, again, from yesterday, remember when I said it's a silent war between Indonesia and the Philippines? And yesterday, RRQ stood tall, just told y'all so, stay there.
It's going to be tough. And I mean, yeah, they did make a really big statement here, but I mean, the most disappointing thing, especially for Filipino fans, is just understanding, hey, it's not going to be a Filipino finals. We're going to have to battle each other somewhere down in the lower bracket. It breaks my heart to hear it as well, but hey, somebody's got to stand on top. And if they need to beat an adversary right now, Alter Ego, they need to get knocked out here.
Well, both teams need to knock the other out, right?
Absolutely.
It's a lot of pride, and there's a lot on the line. On screen, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be introducing the first 5 from both. This is Omega Esports, Kenji, Heath, Hachizi, Yelly Hayes, Curtizi, Butters. This is the old reliable for the green and blue here. And what changes do they need to do to be able to avoid those sweeps?
You know what? There's this story about them having a meeting beside my room.
Really?
Yesterday. But they told me that I shouldn't really just say it right now. I should just say it after.
Okay.
But then again, they made these substantial changes that will make them a bit more attentive and give a little more attention to detail when it comes to the games.
Okay, all right. I'm pretty sure Alter Ego will be looking out for that, as they always do for most things, as for all things actually. Performing this well, it's Yam, Leo Murphy, Udil, Chelly Boy, and Pai. So Cassius gonna be sitting this one out. He made his debut yesterday. Contra, how do you feel about this lineup? This was the same that they played in the group stage.
Well, of course, when we look in towards the group stage, there were games that they did drop, even playing with the likes of Udil. So I'm pretty sure that having his own break, they have been able to plot even more of all these sort of strats to be going up against whoever who falls down from the upper brackets. And know for a fact that these two teams are kind of like the prince of their respective countries to be, taking over one day. And I'm looking at which one will be the ones that step closer towards the throne.
I like it. I like it. The prince, you mean the heir apparent, right?
Heir
Like
to the throne.
the next stop in line. So, ladies and gentlemen, 2 minutes on the clock here before we start drafting once more Alter Ego versus Omega Esports. Gideon, man, do you think this is going to change the dynamic of Alter Ego? Because yesterday, it seemed like Cassius was really acting to help Yam out.
Absolutely, and I think, that's something to keep in mind because Yam has been integrated into this team really, really well, and I think his performance has just been skyrocketing ever since. And honestly, I don't know, he feels like a ton of diamonds, like specifically 899 diamonds here.
Woohoo! And that's
899.
all you need to be able to get the exclusive skin for M2. That's the Shadow Omen skin for Clint. Your boy Clint still hasn't made a showing here, but that doesn't mean there's no chance, all right? By the way, this is an in-game event happening. Just check it out. Click that banner, and you can complete tasks and predict the champion to win M2 coins. Exchange these coins for M2 exclusive rewards, which include the special avatar border. That's the exclusive skin. Again, that's Clint's Shadow Omen skin, the battle emote, and that sacred statue. Get all of these for 899 diamonds once more, only up until the 24th of January. But to be real though, it felt like more than 899.
Honestly, yeah, he honestly shines so bright, especially when Cassius is working on his side of the map. And I think that's kind of the question here of what kind of a draft is going to kind of enable Yam to do those things. Because as you can see, he can play lane really, really well, but he really does shine once his team kind of enables him to say, hey, we need you to do this, we need you to get into the backline, we need you to join the fight.
Yeah, you need to listen a lot, right? And I'm guessing that's what Cassius was good at. Because whenever we would do interviews back from the MPLI and Alter Ego 1, it was always Cassius speaking up. And he's a very intelligent man, and I'm pretty sure he was one of the keys to unlocking Yam. But right now, Butters, we talked about Alter Ego. I'm going to ask you about Omega here. And there's a meme going on online in the MLBB community, and it specifically talks about what hero should the Filipino teams ban, and who is that?
I haven't seen the meme. I'm sorry about.
It's you, Sean. You really slept like a rock, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, for Burmese goons.
Well, I think for both.
I think for everybody.
I think for everybody, just ban it out. But yeah, Omega Esports, they are a team who just really wants to be aggressive into the early game. But the thing is, when you find a way to stop them in their tracks from making that snowball, they lose communication. They don't even talk. They don't even talk much, even when they're winning. But what happens when you just lose communication?
That's all
when
the
you're
more.
losing?
All the more when you
all
need
the
it.
more worse.
All the more when you need it, ladies and gentlemen. Alter Ego Esports here on the play. Already banned out the Jawhead and the Benedetta. Nothing too crazy here. Nothing from out of left field just yet. Omega Esports getting rid of the Esmeralda. Contra still out there again. The Yu Zhong still out there. Is the Yu Sun Shin. What else are we looking at?
I'm definitely looking at the Yi Shun Shin here. That is a hot contested pick that you mentioned earlier on. And we've seen a lot of all these sort of stuff that does get out of the way. Like, if we really want to look at Loyi, usually you go in towards phase 2, right? So phase number 1, you still have that sort of hot picks that have been popping out on the radar. And that's in the form of, a couple of all these sort of marksman. I'm not too sure whether they should take out the 1-1. Sometimes you do see a phase 1 1-1 ban, but not exactly the highest of priority when it comes down to this list.
At this point, I think Alter Ego might want to consider just banning out the Natalia at this point of time. And honestly, the way that they're starting with the Benedetta and as well as the Jawhead, they get rid of the Yi Shun Shin. It kind of tells me that they have like something in mind. They kind of want to play a composition that doesn't rely around those strong picks. And I'm assuming Sylvana is going to be picked up by Omega here because Alter Ego, they're just running out of first pick options.
They want Chelly Boy to be aggressive. Alter Ego, they are gonna go for probably a Jawhead, probably a Cho. They need those heroes that can just hide on the brush and just have that certain advantage when it comes to the initiation. So they ban out the Yi Sun Shin. For Omega Esports, I think Natalia is a good ban, actually.
It'll be a really good ban.
It's going to be Natalia.
They're not running the risk. Again, first pick goes to Alter Ego Esports here. And if you don't respect these kinds of heroes, then you're going to pay the price. Now, first pick for Alter Ego. Definitely her job, Butters. Maybe a tank that allows Chelly Boy to just snowball, make him space, and just catch free kills. But right now, I think they should also consider maybe Yam. But yeah, it's going to be Sylvana first.
Yeah.
Could go for Yam from the sideline, or even, Leo Murphy. Could burst folks down.
Yeah, we see the Sylvana on how other teams use it. They stay in the brush. Then when someone tries to go for a face check, there's a stun, there's Imperial Justice, and most of the time it gets the job done.
So good.
It's so good. And without the Yisun Shin, you don't have a way to see that.
Nothing.
Yeah, and of course that makes it a little bit more difficult as well. And with that, we are having a little bit of the attention towards this Selena pick in the early phase, alongside with the Yuzong, which is looking rather interesting because Omega Esports, they've already secured everything they need for the sort of way to just spot them out. So Abyssal Arrows coming in, but they need to find a little bit of a way to be enabling some of all these cores. So I wonder what will they pick up next for the side of Omega.
Here's where it gets a little scary, because even for at least for Omega, they're kind of waiting on Alter Ego to kind of make that pick, right? And at this point, Matilda is on the table. I feel like it is almost a free pick in most of these situations, other than the fact that Alter Ego is considering that the team fight capabilities of Yuzong is there and Lapu Lapu is on the table. So do you lock in that core, or do you just take in that extra utility from Matilda? And it looks like they opt to go for the Roger instead.
In the group stages, Lapu Lapu seems really good. He's probably the best side or XP laner in the group stages. Now, there is this Yuzong that just is rising. And a lot of the Yuzong players right now are stepping up. They're carrying the team, and there are a lot of great Yuzong games that are happening right now in the playoffs. So, it's a 50-50 for me, Lapu, Yuzong.
Yeah,
It's a trade, yeah.
Okay, well, some stats are definitely getting skewed. Predictions are getting disrupted. And right now, we're waiting for one more pick from Omega Esports here to round out the first phase. And that's going to be Hajizi out of the jungle, picking up his signature Ling. So, for seeing it, it's going to be Chelly Boy on the Roger versus Hajizi on the Ling. Hey, it's all about choking out the purple for Omega Esports, so they better look out for that. They're covering their bases, getting rid of these mid heroes. That's Luo Yi first taken out. Alter Ego, what can they choke out? Heath still has no heroes here. No choices for him.
Yeah, and when we're looking towards this sort of fan phase number 2, there's so much high priority target on towards what will come next for the side of Omega Esports by banning out even more of those sort of jungler or marksman coming in, but having that Ling is already pretty good enough, right? Having the late game split pushes being very much secured. So for this sort of take, you can see so much focus on towards mages, and that's where you see Loi being banned out. But the Tigro, though, is a very interesting ban.
There you go. That's a target on Heath.
Since a lot of dives are going to happen for Alter Ego, Tigreal is the best ban. For Omega Esports, they still have a lot of heroes on Heath. They can go for I wouldn't really suggest a Hilda, just because Lapu, Sylvana, and Roger don't really care about her. I guess a Cho would be great. Seeing a Cho on Heath would be 50-50, but I think with the mechanics and the fundamentals that he has, I think he has enough to pull it off.
And I think, Omega had to make a decision here whether or not to kind of punish this mid laner, punish the mid laner who has wave clear. They wanted to, they were thinking about Farsa or making sure that the side lane is going to be okay with the Lunox here. And I think that's a very good choice. Alter Ego, as you mentioned, Butters, Tro is a really good pick for Omega's side. And I think as long as Alter Ego start focusing down on those utility types and flexible supports, then they can actually pick up some wave clear for themselves, because that's what they're lacking right now. They won't have mid priority here, and I think both teams kind of understand that.
Yep, and instead of mid-priority, I think what Omega Esports has just accepted that they're going to do is try to go into the jungle. They want to protect their jungle and get into the opponents.
If you would look at Omega Esports banning pattern here, you just ban out meta heroes. Then for the second phase, you pick one person to ban his heroes out. They go for Odile, they go for the Luyi, they go for the Lunox. Probably Odile's how do I say this, most successful heroes in the tournament.
Yeah.
It deals a lot of damage. It can punish the Yuzong.
Some would say a signature, like in the long run.
Yeah.
So that's what Omega Esports is doing. Very, very clear cut. Now they have one pick before throwing it back over to Alter Ego to complete it. Now again, they are missing a hero for Heath, and it looks like they are also missing one for Kenji or Curtisi. Again, if this turns into a marksman side lane, then that's going to be on Curtisi while Kenji picks up the Yuzhong. I'm guessing they try to get Heath now. Give Heath a hero now so that you have that flex pick later, because utility tanks are super important, and there it is. We've been saying it all, well, for the past minute or so. That's the show. Very important pickup here.
I definitely think that this is possibly the only best tank left available for that moment, and with so many of all these mages being banned away, you know, I'm not entirely sure if there's any more great ones to be picked up by Alter Ego Esports here. Well, yesterday we did see an Eudora that was being introduced in towards the playoffs
RRQ,
in the form of RRQ Hoshi, and of course Alter Ego might just actually pick that one from the playbook that was actually causing a lot of disruption towards Omega Esports side.
I think regardless here, if they get the Eudora, it might not be as efficient. Farsa is wide up on the table. Harith is also a pretty good shout. Yep, and they finally actually decide to go for the Matilda as well as the Harith. So they skewed their composition to say, hey, we want to have a really strong level 4, knowing that your composition wants to play for early. At least we have a Matilda to defend ourselves, harass you towards the mid lane. So at least if you try and invade, you're going to be at about what, 60 to 50% of your HP.
Alter Ego's not gonna go for that ultimate dependent lineup. They can fight as long as the Roger is up. Matilda and Sylvana is a really great help, just containing or controlling people just for Roger to take down. Because Roger is one of those heroes that really just needs the orange buff to go on. He deals a lot of damage with that certain power spike that he has. But for Omega Esports, it's going to be the Channel.
I think that this was lacking. They needed wave clear, and now I'm wondering, just in hindsight, should this have been a Farsa? Chango or a Farsa? Chango or a Farsa? I think they're just doubling down on the range. Massive reach.
I would agree with the range, but I also think that it's just like making sure that the side laners are going to be A-okay, because that's where Omega is looking to punish. Like if it's not the mid lane and we can't invade you, then your side lanes are going to be the next big target.
Yeah, so it's a complete concession to mid. Like you can have mid, we'll take the jungle, we'll take the side lanes. Ladies and gentlemen, the draft has been locked in. Alter Ego Esports versus Omega Esports. We already talked about how these teams are looking to engage, what kind of strategies these two drafts are going in for. Real quick, Alter Ego, Omega, what's your prediction? Contra.
Well, looking at this sort of draft, I'm liking what I'm seeing from the side of Alter Ego Esports at the moment. But hey, Omega Esports, we saw what they did towards RRQ Hoshi in game number 1. I'm expecting Omega to just push them to the brink of perhaps almost to this.
All right, we'll leave it to you guys. Contra, Gideon Q, Butters, all yours. Omega Esports versus Alter Ego, game number 1.
Let's get this show on the road. Finally, first game up today. Let's bring it as Alter Ego going to be going up against Omega Esports. And again, we should be expecting nothing too soon, especially since Omega, they do have the early game composition, but level 2s are way, way more useful in comparison to level 1s.
You would expect people to just go for the invade with the Roger, Sylvana, and the Matilda, but Alter Ego Esports, they're not going to push their luck. They're not going to put themselves in a 50-50.
Yeah, speaking of 50-50s here, you know, like hitting in towards the late game, that's where team fights are especially crucial. And we've talked about Omega, they are a very team fight-oriented team. And there goes a little bit of the movements coming across, and Kenji has already spotted out the danger. And perhaps there will be a little bit of contest coming in the way soon, but let's talk about this matchup here down below. It's the Yuzhong as well as Lapu Lapu, because they're going to be contributing pretty huge in towards mid-game.
Yep. And Kenji there might have pulled the trigger on his flicker a bit too early. He didn't know that Liam Murphy didn't get the stun. So he just went for it, and the spear is there just to harass. And look at the damage for Heath here. That hurts a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Matilda, again, she's really great in the early game just to harass their opponents. She does struggle to finish them off, and that's why you see some teams actually taking the flame shot here and there, or even the Farsa to just make sure, like, hey, you gotta go.
Yeah, and speaking of which, now we're going to be moving our eyes on towards Odile, where, you know, early game pressure is the name of the game coming in from Matilda's, but she's being pushed towards the turret, being forced to retreat, and now we're going to be having the turtle on towards the other corners of the river where most of the members of Omega are fixating themselves towards the top side, trying to get a catch on towards this tower.
Yeah, honestly, I would think they would want to be a little bit more aggressive here, especially down towards bottom side, but it looks like, Harith is going to be a little bit of an issue since he is going to the EXP lane. He wants to rush that level 4 as quickly as possible.
Yeah, but the only difference right now for Leo Murphy is Heath is a calm player. He doesn't get tilted as much, so all those TPs are probably not gonna get into his head. Some of the tanks right here that Leo Murphy taunts, they actually react, but for Heath, I don't think that's going to be the case anytime soon.
Yeah, and speaking of which, late game is going to be very interesting where you got picks like the Ling, and on the other side you got the Harith, the Rogers. Which one do you think, will be much stronger heading towards late phase? Because I'm pretty concerned if Yelly Hayes gets to late game.
Yeah, I definitely agree with your sentiment here, but yeah, speaking of Yelly Hayes, he's forced to push back in towards lane. And coming back to the question here, I think at the end of the day, I would say it's almost around even here, but I will say that Alter Ego does have the better late game composition because there's a lot more relevant ultimates and also just relevant heroes in those situations. Now, Cortese is going to get a little bit of damage here, but Pai, he wants to zone him out to ensure that the rest of the team can actually contest for that purple buff. Luckily, Cortese still having his retribution, but that just means that that the turtle is going to have zero pressure coming in from Omega.
Well, you know what, Gideon? I think Alter Ego has a better late game lineup just because of the Harith.
Yeah.
In terms of scaling, the Harith can just pop off anytime soon. You're just getting those certain items on his side. I mean, I get it. Kenji has late game potential as well, but there's a fight happening right here.
Yep, and they're going in pretty hard, but they're backing away as soon as possible. Purple buff again contested, but that's going to be a big ultimate coming in from Cartesi. They can't really do too much to contest, and Heath, he could try to make the play, but again, all 4 members are here for the side of Alter Ego, and the 5th one just joining from lane. Hajizi is going to get chunked so low, but look at the top side, Kenji, a free push.
Well, I really felt like Alter Ego here is putting way too much of that microaggression, and they are reaping a lot of rewards out of it. Like, as you can see, although the goal lead is going to be relatively small at the moment, they've already got the turtle, they've already taken all these buffs. We're checking out some of these items. Anything interesting to note coming in from early phase?
Not so much. Pai is almost close to his Bloodlust Axe. And as you can see, Heath here catching out Leo Murphy, and Yam trying to go for the help, and Heath might have bitten more than he can chew there. Okay, in terms of items, they're just getting their core items first, but AE here, they really just want to start the fight. Calamity Reaper on that Harith. Haji only has the Raptor Machete, and for Kenji, he has the glowing wand, if I'm not mistaken. I just can't see it from here.
Yeah, he's almost getting it. Oh, wait, no. Katisi looking to try to jump on top of Leo Murphy, but he's able to get pulled back with the help of Udil. They're going to disengage from the fight, but he's going to get chucked down. Absolutely destroyed and disrespecting his space, especially without Flicker. But it's not over yet. Kenji is going to be dropping down that meteor shower, and even though he used the Way of the Dragon, he might have bit off a little more than he could chew. Yam is going to be able to enable himself to pick him off, and Kenji the next to fall, but it is going to say hello. Jelly Boy here, say hello to this. Can he get one more? The killing spree is going to be enough. No, it is not. Orange buff a little too good. Yelly Hayes goes down, and it's going to be a 3-for-1 trade in favor of Alter Ego.
And I guess this just explains what the Yi Sun Shin ban is for. If there was a Yi Sun Shin in this game, this wouldn't have been possible for Alter Ego to just dive in, catch them off guard. Omega Esports here, they need to find a way to get Hayes to drop those traps.
I absolutely agree with that, and you just look how well coordinated of an attack Alter Ego Esports responded with. Although they were in really awkward positions with Chellboy coming in and out of that sort of fight, but he has been able to get those kills in, and he's 2 kills up alongside with Yam. This is where things start to get a lot more dangerous for Omega, and they have to pull those moves because we talk about the early game. This is where they're supposed to shine.
I don't know if y'all are realizing, but Yam's actually kind of getting a little big here. He's got 4K worth of gold, a Calamity Reaper, and a Holy Crystal 6 minutes into the game, but the fight is already going to continue. Cosmic Flag's not going to land, but Yam, he's just going to say, hello, you started the fire at the worst time possible, and Carteezy looking to turn this around with the help of the Meteor Shower. He comes on through. Dragon Tail will actually connect him, but his passive is going to keep it alive, but he knows better. He can't go too far.
Alter Ego is so snappy with their reactions. It's like one time you see that they're at the top lane, you engage a fight 5 seconds after they're there on the middle lane fighting with their teammate as well. So for Omega Esports, they need to find the players from Alter Ego more. They need to be aware where they are at certain points in time to create this advantage, because Omega Esports, they have a lot of pick-off potential. They have the Selena on their side, they have the Cho on their side.
Talking about pick-off potential, the way the Dragon's already be coming through right after, but Yam, he needs to decide on which side of the map he needs to fight on, as they got split into two. They find the first initial catch, but then there is the return coming in from Carteezy with the help of Yelly Hayes.
Very interesting move from both sides. So you can see Yam was really moving in between, splitting the team apart, but they have managed to get that catch right over on towards those small little bushes, and finally, at least, Omega Esports can shut down Leo Murphy in the process, but it still takes a little bit more for them to get to where they need to be, as we can definitely see a little bit of a deficit in terms of goal at the moment. But hey, one good team fight could possibly change everything for Omega.
Kenji right now has the Ice Queen wand with the glowing wand. This is an important power spike for the side of Omega Esports. They can control the fights, or if ever they want, they can contest this turtle thing. But for them, it's not going to be the best idea, as they catch out Pi, and that is what I'm saying. Find the right target and punish him. Because Alter Ego Esports, if they cannot rotate to that certain area, you are going to have a better time!
Oh yeah, he actually didn't by any of the skill shots, and Carteezy is able to get a little bit more, but the return kill is Jelly Boy. He's able to dodge the perfect abilities at the right time. Butters, you're totally right there about the target priority, but I think that's not all. Hajizi is going to try and force the fight onto Jelly Boy, who has to run away. Leo Murphy, he's got nothing else. He drops down the spiral. Jelly Boy needs to take out Yelly Hayes, but the way of the dragon came off a cooldown at the right time, and Yam, he can't go down. He wants to look for a return kill, and the Chrono Dash, it doesn't get him just yet. Finally, Omega find the trade they were looking for, 2 for 1.
I just want to say that Alter Ego Esports is giving Yam more freedom to choose the heroes that he wants. He's been forced to use the Yu Zhong. He's been forced to use these side laners that can just tank and deal significant damage. But right now, a Harith with a Calamity Reaper, a Holy Crystal, he is proving the naysayers wrong.
That's right, and with that, we definitely check out some of all these sort of builds. Athena Shield's being bought over from South Heath. He's going to get more and more tankier, as, of course, Leo Murphy will be helping him in the process for the side of Alter Ego, of course. But just look at how they control the entirety of all these mid-game fights. It's been looking relatively well for Omega Esports, but they really have to give high priority on all these big objectives. And the next one's coming right in with the Lord heading up towards the top side.
I totally agree. And I think, Omega at this point in time at the 26k mark, where a lot of their mid-game heroes have gotten the utility items, especially like the Ice Queen Wand, it helps them look for that return kill. Way the Dragon onto the Sylvana for now, but Leo Murphy can easily jump out with the Imperial Justice. But now they are running backwards, and Kenji, he's just cutting them down with the Meteor Shower. I can't see whether he's going to kill Pi or not. Yes, he is so low on health. He's so trapped. He is done for, but down by the bottom side. Pi is going to trade for Keith, and it's not looking too good until Carteezy comes in. He's coming in with a Black Dragon form as he wants to jump out towards Jelly Boy. He gets him, but it's not enough. No CC to lock him down, and he doesn't want to jump forward any further.
Yeah, and looking at it, Alter Ego Esports, yes, they have the lead, but there is one thing that they cannot get. They cannot get the turrets here onto the side of Omega Esports. Yes, you had a 4-kill lead into the early game, but if you cannot convert it into objectives just because Kenji is just clearing out the waves, then that is going to be a big problem on your side.
And speaking of which, we're going to be having a big fight here. Kenji gets picked up, and he goes unstoppable, and nobody has been able to stop this Harith in the process.
It's tough. It's tough because Yam he's 5-0, okay? He's 5-0, and that means that the rest of AE want to actually push on forward to try and steal the bus. Bill Murphy getting Hajizi. This is looking great. Can they get one more? Yes, they can. As Yam drops down the Zaman Force. Yeli Hayes, he's forced to run on backwards, and that's going to be 3 of their more important players, 2 of their cores going down, and the tier 2 on top of all of that.
Oh my goodness. Alter Ego Esports, I was just saying that Kenji is going to be very important for their defense. And right now, as you can see, the meteor shower is there. It will hit a lot of members here for the side of Alter Ego, but it won't take them down.
Yeah, not just yet, not just yet. It's a slow roll, you know? You gotta wait for the conditions to be right.
Yeah, I felt like Omega Esports is taking too many of these fights where not exactly every single one of the fights are actually necessary. They were pushing in towards mid without much of the area control, and easily Alter Ego just snapped right back at them. And you just see Yam has free reign. He just dives straight on top and goes unpunished. And here comes the Lord attempt coming from Alter Ego.
This is going to be one of the bigger fights here. As he flickers forward to try and stop them as much damage as possible as he blocks half of the meteor shower from Kenji. Oh my goodness, Alter Ego were willing to throw their bodies in front of the damage to secure this Lord.
But this is okay for Omega Esports. They still can go for the steal. They have Haji, they have Kenji. The question is, will they go for it? The answer is no. Alter Ego Esports, just take that Luminous Lord.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're way too out of reach, understanding the fact that, hey, it's 3 members versus 5, and this time it's already 30 minutes into the game, which is relatively concerning with the Luminous Lord coming at them eventually. So if they were to lose even more members, I'm not even sure, like, with Yellow Haze as well as Cortese comes back up, can they manage a good defense?
I think, sorry about this, but yeah, I do think with Kenji it is possible, but they just have to sacrifice their own life totals to protect the wave, because right now, Omega, they want to cut the waves using their mobility with Hajizi.
Yeah, and Omega Esports, they aren't given the chance to go for their initiates, because if Selena hits someone with arrow or Heath gets a good way of the dragon, that's going to be great for them. But if they are forced to engage, they're just forced to react, and that's not going to be good on their side.
Alter Ego wants to force the situation here. Lord has already been brought down low, but Hajizi forcing to use his ultimate to get out of the way now for the full engagement here. Hajizi tries to pull something off, but Heath is able to get the way of the dragon onto Pi, but that's not going to be enough. That's not the target that you want, as they were able to turn this around, barely using most of their ultimates at that point in time. Meteor Shower as well onto Jelly Boy. This could be a huge pick. They can turn this around. Omega looking for the opportunity, but unfortunately, all they get is a good defense. Jelly Boy survives and ends the game. GG, well played.
Just look at Alter Ego, how they managed to pull every single move on top of Omega Esports. As much as they tried to go in for those fakes, nothing is actually going in favor of the Philippine side in this very first match, and solely Alter Ego pushed through and punched in their first point in this best of 3.
It's like Yam just woke up one day, became a monster, and this is really just Yam stepping up to the plate.
We need the perspective from the outside. Leo, what's the perspective here? You watched the entire game. What happened?
It's a great time to be an Alter Ego fan. And as y'all already said, I think that day was yesterday. Yam woke up yesterday and said, the playoffs is going to see a brand new me. Group stage, y'all seen nothing yet. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the caster's desk. Alter Ego currently scoring 1 ahead of Omega, and that's going to be match point. They are threatening the sweep. Could be a clean 2-0 here, and we're going to be saying goodbye to one of the 2 Filipino teams left. Once more, it was off of just Yam just doing great things on that Harith, and I expected actually during the draft for it to be on Pi. We've seen Pi with Harith before coming out of the gold lane, but this time I think they really are just making the moves and the changes to help Yam do good Yam things. It's not just about Lemon. Yam do good Yam things, and even with Udil now, Cassius no longer playing in the first 5, it seems to work.
And I'm really loving how the perception has absolutely changed for this player when, you know, at first everyone was doubting him, like, oh, this Yuzong pick's not really good for him. And he finally found his style of play to be able to get so much out of this.
I don't know. Does anybody feel like he's becoming like a sleep paralysis demon? Like every other team is just like, oh no, I can't seem to move, and he's just watching over them overbearingly.
Yeah, I mean, it can be a good thing, but I think the analyst has more things to say.
Yep, definitely. We need the help of Wolf and LaFell to break this down. Hey, tell us what happened in game number 1.
Somebody woke up on the right side of the bed. I guess that's what happened.
Yeah.
My name is Wolf and I'm with LaFell. We're going to be talking about that game number 1. Many things have transpired in the past few days, but I would say this is a massive waking up for Yam. This is playoff Yam.
Yeah, playoff Yam looks so good, especially that Harv pick.
Crazy.
Where I definitely want to talk about the items a little bit, just a little bit after this, because he adjusted it slightly, where it made it really good in the mid game, and that is the thing that Alter Ego did very well is the mid game, where nothing really happened in the early game. In fact, the first blood happened so late on that top lane when Alter Ego rotated there, but basically around the 4-minute mark, Alter Ego, they just got together as 4, as 5, and it was really good with the draft that they're having. But basically, they moved together, forced themselves inside of the jungle of Omega, and Omega had to concede their jungle just because their lineup is not really good to fight there, especially with their jungler, Ling.
Yeah, I think that this is Alter Ego Esports having the better understanding of their win conditions.
Yeah.
Now, they did draft this Roger as well as the Lapu-Lapu quite early on in the drafting phase. And then they finished it up with this Harith pick, which I think was genius. Because there's really not much of a big catch coming out from the side of Omega Esports. So the Harith will definitely have a good late game. Now, before we talk about the items, very quickly I want to say this Harith only had to endure the first few minutes of the match, and it seemed like Alter Ego Esports knew exactly what to do to make this a Harith game.
Yeah, and right now, Harith, we look at the itemization, and it is normal Harith itemization. However, what is different is the order. So, first, he created the Calamity Reaper, but usually after that, people finish off with the Feather of Heaven because the Chrono Dash, it counts as a basic attack, and you want that basic attack to really stack up with the Calamity Reaper. However, he changed it up. He made Holy Crystal first so that his Chrono Fission is as strong as his Chrono Dash. And what that does is that the mid game is so much more stronger, especially with his team. Sylvana, as well as the Lapu-Lapu and the Matilda, they will set it up for him, and then he just makes sure that he has enough damage. In this kind of situation, he has enough of that destructive damage.
Yeah, I like that you pointed it out because it was really evident in the mid-game stages around the 6-minute mark when they were trying to make the plays. And when you initiate with the Sylvana, follow it up with even the Matilda, the Harith just dealt so much damage even in the mid-stage of the game. We'll say that Harith will be online a few minutes later, but because of the itemization and the fact that he was moving with his team, it allowed him to deal massive damage in the early stages.
And right now we can look at the stats as well. 10 towers to 2, 1 lord to 0, 2 turtles to 0, 7 orange buff, and 9 purple buff over to 6. This just shows that they really conquered the jungle, and Omega, they really couldn't do much. But right now, let's look at the MVP of the game, back to back to back.
When will this guy stop, man?
Yam again.
Somebody stop him.
Somebody stop him. Somebody stop him. Somebody stop him. Anyways, 8, 0, and 6 with the Harith. He has used different heroes, and all those different heroes, he has earned the MVP slot. This is one of the situations where we're like, all right, maybe we want to give to someone else, but like, really, we can't. Like, he did so well. Again, very smart itemization and very good of Alter Ego to really play with him to enable him to make sure that he can do what he is supposed to do.
Whoever really poked this guy, I guess the fans were bashing him after the group stages. A lot of people are pinning him down, but
haters make him famous.
Yeah,
and now he's famous for being good.
He is now very famous, and he is very strong. I think that the real anime arc was for Yam. It wasn't for the set of 10 seconds game.
He's like Naruto.
He's like Naruto now. Yeah, like the kid is getting bullied, and now he's awakened.
He got the inner QB.
I hope that I made the right reference because I don't really watch.
Oh no, yeah. Naruto wanted to be Hokage, but people like bullied him and stuff, and now he's the Hokage.
All right, so we are expecting more from you now because he is incredibly strong.
And Naruto has a kid.
Oh.
Boruto.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah,
Is that how old we are right now?
Oh, yeah, we're very old. We're very old.
Well, you know what? Omega Esports, this is their last possible chance. I mean, they can still bring it to game number 3, but let's find out though as we now bring it back to the caster's desk.
And of course, thank you very much. This is the M2 playoffs day number 2, and we are going in towards this match on a great fashion. Special thanks to our sponsors, Secret Lab, the award-winning gaming seats engineered for long hours of comfort and sitting form. Available in the Secret Lab official stores in major e-commerces in Singapore, or visit secretlab.co.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would also like to thank Tumi for being a partner in esports for M2. As the journey to become the champion of M2 has been perfected with the latest Tumi luggage and backpack, you can bring your gear anywhere with you safely without worry. Be sure to check out Tumi.com to perfect your own journey and enjoy the M2 competition. An established distributor of many well-loved consumer brands in Asia, SUTL is proud to be an MLBB partner in esports for 2021 for Fiji Water, Ike Chung's IT's Cups, and Mountain Dew. To find out more, visit www.sutl.com.
Guys, don't forget that you can be catching this live stream at the mega event MLBB Bang Bang M2 World Championships 2020 held in Singapore for free on Me Watch from 18th to 24th January. A total of 12 teams from 9 countries all here in Singapore to compete for 300,000 worth of a prize pool. That's insane, but make sure you are catching all that action live.
Once again, this is going to be game number 2. Do or die for Omega. I'm pretty sure Filipino fans at home watching M2 are stuck to their seats. My name is Leo, joined here by Contra, Gideon Q, and Butters. We're going to be bringing you the action all throughout today. And after the analysts, LaFell and Wolf, broke down what went down, I'm pretty convinced it's not a fluke. Yam really is a whole nother beast. Today, yesterday, hell, if they make it to the grand finals, it's definitely an alter ego that we have never seen before. And I'm pretty sure a lot of fans are thinking, hey, Ahmad's doing all right back in Indonesia. Alter ego's got M2 covered.
They're just going to bring back the trophy for him just so they can take the picture. It's all for that picture, all for that gram.
Yeah, but I'm seeing him right now as someone who has given freedom to just play whatever he wanted. Like, for the group series, you wouldn't really see him on the Harith. It was like they put it all on Selly Boy or Pai. But right now, there's this certain amount of trust that was given to him, and he's delivering a whole lot more for the team.
Yeah, and you're definitely looking towards the dynamics of this entirety of the team, right? Now, it's not only Udil or even the likes of Chelly Boy that becomes a threat. Now, Yam has been garnering so much attention. Like, how do you actually ban against this team? Like, who do you really want to focus down?
I think it came down to Omega also kind of being a little confused. Again, there was reach. There was reach, but there wasn't an overarching strategy. And to be able to say, okay, you can take mid lane, we'll take the jungle, we'll take the side lanes, that is a huge gamble. Like, how sure are you that you're going to get that down? And so far, even that wasn't true. In the early game, they were attacking top lane, Alter Ego, and they won completely. That's where First Blood was drawn.
I think at this point, a lot of teams are straying away from these level 1 invade strategies, especially with how important the laning phase has become itself. I mean, everybody needs to catch that first wave, and in very niche situations, especially when you have Ling as your jungler, you're going to need that buff as soon as possible. And again, those strategies may differ amongst the teams. The priorities are going to be different. However, they need to play safe. They can't afford to make that mistake. One person dies, you're going to need to trade up. And if you don't do that, you're going to be so far behind.
Yep, zoning in on a specific priority. I think for Filipino teams, I've seen this, right? And not just because I'm Filipino, but also as a broadcaster, I've noticed little patterns. Don't play Cho. Don't play Selena. These are heroes that are non-starters. It might have just been because due to studies by your opponents, they figured out how to shut these strategies down. And based on this match's results and from yesterday, it seems like whoever's facing against Omega or Bren have figured out that, hey, stop these things. Don't let them do good Cho. Don't let them do what Selena's supposed to do, and you're fine. And so far, it's proven well.
Yeah. The Selena could have done more there. This is uncharacteristic of him. He always does great in other matches, but for that certain Selena game, he couldn't really put his traps all over the place. When Leo Murphy has control over the brushes, over the jungle, that's when things get dangerous for Omega, because there's always a chance for you to get stunned and get hit by the Imperial Justice. Now, Omega, they tried their best, but it's always Alter Ego having 2 steps. Alter Ego is 2 steps ahead of them. That's it.
Yeah, Leo Murphy knows exactly where to catch him, right? And you know where else you can catch things? Free skins I'm talking about? That's a Battle Night, January 30th. It's happening. We are pleased to announce that that's also going to be the new anniversary season of Magic Chess Blazing Hammer. We're launching this new adventure once more officially on January 30th. There's a new upgrading system called Blessing, a new little commander coming up, a new map, all synergy is going to get revamped, and of course there's going to be a free title for advanced skins waiting for all of y'all once more. This is Battle Night happening on January 30th. Y'all get a free skin if you log in. Alright, about 45 seconds before the draft. At this point, anything goes. The Filipinos, they pick up the Yuzhong. They don't do so well with it. I think this just resets everything. Like, no numbers are going to save you from the wrath of Alter Ego at this point.
And I think more importantly, I think they needed predetermine inside their draft what they want to do exactly here, because they're trying to get a little bit of everything, being a jack of all trades, but the win conditions are extremely difficult to hit if you aren't at that consistent high mechanical availability to pull it off.
It's all over the place. It's scattered. You can't find this certain thing that you want to do. You should have backup plans, yes, but if it's over like 6 or 7, you're probably not gonna do well because you're trying to do a lot of things at the same time.
Yeah, we look how they really want to activate things like the link itself, and that didn't really went well. But now heading it towards our second draft in this sort of match, I'm definitely thinking that Omega Esports knows, okay, that didn't work out. We're going for our alternative route itself, and they start off with Natalia, something that is pretty standard that we've been seeing every game.
I'm wondering what an alternative route looks like for Omega Esports, because so far they've been trying these lineups that have done well in the group stage. Playoffs, not so much, so we're looking for them to shape up. Alter Ego Esports going to be answering back. They have the 2 picks after this banning phase. They take out Brody, and so far they're not breaking a sweat, not just yet. They can just really take out the fundamental heroes that you should get rid of, Brody, Esmeralda, Jawhead, and then call it a day. They're not afraid of anything right now.
Yeah, but you have the benefit of being on blue side, right? So you want to like shake your opponent to see what kind of spare change actually falls out of the pockets and then abuse them with it. So it's one of those things where it's like, hey, as long as I don't have to ban the Esmeralda, I'm going to make you make that decision. And if you let it through, I'm going to have this ultra powerful pick that we haven't really found a solution to yet.
Brody, I think Esmeralda is going to be the ban here for the side of Alter Ego. It's just way too strong to give up to the other team. There are teams who try, but most of them don't get the luck of just winning the game.
Yeah, and we definitely see over here that the Jawhead is being banned away. I'm thinking that Omega Esports, once they ban that Lapu Lapu, they're actually finding that opening, hoping that Yi Shin gets through somehow.
Yeah, I think if Omega Esports wants to kind of fix their drafting issue or their lost strategy, I think by picking up a Yusen Shin, you kind of fix things, because yes, it's also a jack of all trades, but it's also very good at solving problems either way.
The thing is, we've seen a couple of teams actually get punished for the fact that they picked up the... Oh, well, it looks like Omega is actually prioritizing being able to pick it up in the first pick, because they ban out the Esmeralda for themselves. They don't want that question to be posed and decided by Alter Ego.
But I guess for Omega, it's Toshi who uses that, who's not playing right now.
Yeah.
So you would want Kurt to go for a Benedetta. You would want Kenji to have that tanky hero to the side lane and just sustain from there, not lose the lane. That's their kind of playstyle. For Alter Ego Esports, if they get this Esmeralda, this is going to be a hard game for the side of Omega Esports, and you just want to be as comfortable as possible, since this could probably be your last game if you lose.
It's so tough.
It really is tough, isn't it, Contra?
Okay, this shakes things up, because now we're seeing Selena here. So, yep, pick your poison, but they did want that Yi Shin as priority. They will get in the hand.
I think that's what that gambit was. But I think Alter Ego may not have thought the Selena through, because I think Omega Esports, after losing back-to-back games of Selena on Yelly Haze, I'm pretty sure they are also questioning why we should do this now.
I think overall, it's not the worst ban in the
It's
world.
not the worst,
It's
but
like,
it's not the
yes,
best.
you do play it, but like even if you do get we're banning it because there are other things of priority that affects us. But if you can play it, sure, that's fine, but it's not so bad to the point of like an Esmeralda level of completely taking
I'm pretty
over
sure
the
they could
game.
have dealt with it. That could have been a Yu Zhong if they were going to pick up the Benedetta anyways. But yeah, that's definitely something Yam can play. Thinking of what Omega Esports could go for the couple here. But I just got to note, before things get too crazy, Yam has no specific hero choice just yet. He can play anything so far and play him very well. He's MVP'd on a Benedetta. He's MVP'd on a Harith. And what's next, right? Look at this. Tigreal on Heath and Yelihay's on that Luo Yi. That's definitely a solid setup already. 3, they can counter with the last 2.
Yeah, I'm pretty interested to see how this works because they've already got a lot of all these defensive kits already up online, but they are giving away that Yuzong straight into the hands of Alter Ego Esports. So this is definitely going to be concerns out there for Omega Esports, judging from how Alter Ego Esports has been playing across the entirety of the playoffs.
I like the Yuzhong pick just because the Yi Sun Shin and the Lu Yi gets accounted for. Like if they don't take care of their positioning, there is going to be hell to pay for these guys. But Alter Ego biting out the 1-1. Yeah, I think this might be the plan of Omega, just to have 2 side laner, 2 marksmen on their team. A Claude is still possible, but I don't think Omega would take that risk. Who knows? Maybe they would, because this is they may try something new here.
Yeah, and I think at this point it's just making sure that, you know, Yam actually has a pretty decent laning matchup. I mean, considering the number of bans, they get rid of the Wanwan, they get rid of the Harith. They first pick the and since they're first picking Benedetta and knowing that they're going to put it on Yam, as long as he does okay, we've seen what he can do. Omega on the other side, they see Matilda. Let's get rid of that straight away. It's a great combo piece, but they're still lacking that wave clear. They're still lacking their mage, and not to mention something that scales hard in towards that late game.
Yeah, something for Chelly Boy. Chelly Boy don't have no hero yet. Omega Esports, are they going to choke it? Or are they going to continue and make Udil's life hard right in mid lane? And it seems like the answer is going to be Chelly Boy's Ling. Still open is the Lancelot. You can still Roger and Claude. Yeah, he's won with all of these. And there you go. It's going to be
Boxia.
Probably.
No, this is great. This is great.
Yeah.
This is all for Yam.
This is
really solid.
This is going to be Tank Baksha. Then
Leo Murphy, Baksha.
Mid.
Udil. Are you saying Udil Silvana?
Udil Silvana could be a thing. This could go to the side lane as well, and there's a chance that the Benedetta could be the jungler. So there are a lot of the routes that Alter Ego can take here.
Personally, I don't think so.
They need more scaling. Yeah, they need that ultra hyper carry type deal for Chelly Boy.
And I also think that they've got a lot of options in terms of that scaling. So locking in the boxer just to tell your opponents, hey, you're missing 2 offlaners, and as long as you have something that can absorb damage, it's absolutely fine. So they're forced to take the export, and still now they have to play a hyper susceptible side laner like a carry. Yes, she's great in the laning phase, but after that, where do you go from there?
Wow.
We did say that earlier that there could be a double marksman setup for Omega Esports. So now it's here. Aaron, you were saying?
Yeah, I mean, I'm losing track of what I was about to say, but now they're not even going for any one of these marksmen. They're finishing things off here with,
they're just
picking this up.
Yeah, no. So all the more it seems very possible that it's a Retribution Benedetta.
Yeah, it
could
is.
be Benedetta in the jungle, and then you give Udil this Veil. There's your scaling right there.
Because you never can count out the Benedetta in terms of damage output. A lot of the players or a lot of the side laners, you go for Bloodlust Axe. But if you try to go for Raptor Machete Blade of Despair, Electro Final Blow deals a lot of damage.
And you get away with more because you're healing.
You get away with more because you're healing. And that's why I really thought that it could be a Benedetta, because Omega Esports banned out a lot of junglers.
Oh, they were just going to let it happen. Anyways, wow. Nasi Udok impressing us. Coach of Alter Ego Esports at every turn. Ladies and gentlemen, Omega Esports, they are hanging by a thread. This game could be their very last here in Singapore for M2. An elimination could be upon us. It is imminent. Here we go. Game number 2 in this best of 3. Alter Ego versus Esports. Boys, all yours.
And thank you very much, Leo. And, well, I really got to commend both sides of the coach for getting in towards this draft, because we're seeing so many different styles of play coming in from each region, and I'm absolutely loving it. Alter Ego Esports starting on the purple side, and we already have seen a shove over on the mid lane for Omega Esports.
Let's look immediately straight away. It looks like they've switched it up on Alter Ego side. Yam is going to be on the Yuzong. Helly Boy is going to be in the jungle with the Benedetta, with the Retribution, like you mentioned, Butters. And not to say that they don't have scaling per se, because Udil, with that Veil, as time goes on, he's going to be able to one-shot people like nothing.
If you think about it, you would say that, oh, they don't have a lot of damage, but Udil scales a lot, and he's one hero that can play around with his skill range, skill damage. Veil only has that option.
Yeah, and also to note for a fact that Hajizi, he's now on his highest KD hero, of course, Yishun Shin. And let's talk about their win condition here, because late game is looking relatively interesting for the side of Omega Esports. I definitely like this route and pathway that they're going with as compared to game number 1, a very focus-centric on towards what their conditions are.
Oh, some good damage onto Carteezy here. And yeah, as you mentioned about those win conditions, I think it's very important to mention that they want to, AE want to punish down Carteezy, but now they already sent both of their members, Hajizi as well as Heath, to shut that down, to make sure, as long as we defend Carteezy, as long as we defend the aggression from Alter Ego and Carteezy can scale, we've got a great opportunity to win this game.
I would have to say that Kenji here on the X-Borg, we don't see X-Borg a lot on the side lane, off lane anymore. But for this certain game, I really like his inclusion here for the side of Omega Esports. In terms of damage output, the Last Insanity can deal significant amount of damage to Yam, Leo, Murphy, and Pai. And it can take down Udil if needed.
I think the most important thing is that it needs to peel off Chelly Boy when he's jumping into the backline to try and take out Yelly Hayes, or at the very least try to take out Hajizi.
Yeah, that's definitely very important in some of these fights. And speaking of fight here, we do have the Turtle contest coming up next. Pai tries to dive right in, but Turtle will be in hands of Omega Esports, and Leo Murphy is trying to zone them all away. And just look at the rest of Omega go. Hajizi will be taken down, and Alter Ego at least walks away with a kill.
That was a really good pick. Oh, Leo Murphy, he wants to pick him off, and yes, he does! He's managing to land the Cosmic Lance right at the edge, and Udil is there to zone the rest off. Alter Ego playing some really sick moves, cutting Omega in half and zoning them off from the major fight on towards Topside River.
This is how Alter Ego wins. With all the chaos onto the map, everyone just gets split up. They put a certain amount of people on them, probably 2 per hero, then they just get the kill, and this is how they pull over the lead to their side.
Indeed, and as for the matter of fact, we're already seeing pretty much of a small little advantages in terms of goal gains, but over on towards the river, we are already seeing Heath getting taken down, dove upon by Chelly Boy.
Yeah, the Imperial Justice does not let you get out. Yelly Hayes is going to be the next to fall easily as Chelly Boy runs him down. They're going to be trying to get some extra gold onto this mid turret here, but now Chelly Boy is going to try and zone out Kenji as Hajizi needs to clear that wave.
It's as if Alter Ego doesn't care about the Mountain Shocker anymore. They just stay in lane.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. If you're using the Mountain Shocker to get information, but you're already kind of there in the lane.
Yeah, it's pointless.
Do you use it as a way to poke them down? I don't think that's a good use of it 4 minutes into the game.
Well, honestly, I think that Omega is just using it to kind of like get the information of like, just in case they're in the brush to catch us off, right, Contra?
Yeah, just in case if somebody is hiding in places where they least expect them to be. And with that, you just got to take safety precaution, especially when you're now 1 game away from being eliminated.
A lot of hope is riding on the back zero of Carteezy. He's going to be one of the main players here for the side of Omega Esports if they really want to win this game. But Haji going straight for that turtle. Look at Pai.
Well, they want to start this fight. The Toys Poisson's coming in from high is huge, but Heath and Kenji, last insanity, so big. But on the other side, towards the purple buff, Alter Ego continue to push on forward, and Yam, he is very happy with the turnout here. It's going to be a 3-4-0 for Alter Ego. Huge wins, finally getting the lead.
Did you just see how Yam just choked him off and had nowhere to escape? That was a perfectly timed Omlet with the Black Dragon form crashing right through, and this is definitely that turtle going in favor of Alter Ego. No contest whatsoever, and oh boy, now 7-1. What can Omega Esports do to make a comeback?
Well, just stall time. Let Louis, let Carry, let Yisunjin scale. Find the right engagements with Kenji. I really thought that Kenji could have dealt a lot of damage to Yam and Pai, but the thing is, they're not really looking at Kenji right now. Kenji, with the last insanity, just dealt, what, 1/4 of their HP?
Yeah, and especially when it's up against Pi. I thought he would do a little bit more damage there, but here, Sacred Hammer is going to be pushing Pi up, but Leo Murphy looking for a great opportunity to get on top of Yeli Hayes, and that's going to be Chelly Boy hopping right over it, taking out the back line, forcing them away, right in between Tier 1 and Tier 2. Heath, you got to run away, my buddy. You got to get on out of there. Mega kill coming out of Chelly Boy. He is just showing a new side of Benedetta in the jungle.
Absolutely, and this is working too well for Chelly Boy. Yep, Yam's gonna be having a slight engagement, but you got Immortality on Kenji, so no point for that sort of heavy contention. But back to what you just mentioned. Now we have two of the biggest guys being activated, and oh boy, I feel like they got to answer true because things are looking all too well on Alter Ego's side.
Alter Ego here just being so dominant in this game. Omega Esports, they're trying to find this the right opportunity to just get back into this game. Alter Ego Esports, unrelenting. I don't think they will give that opening anytime soon.
With the 6K gold lead as well?
6K gold lead, there might be a chance that opening might not come.
We'll have to wait and see. Omega need to find that opening regardless. If not, this game is going to slip out of their hands. Alter Ego now starting to become more of an aggressor here, pushing into the jungle and looking to choke them out of the economy.
And speaking of the economy here, of course, we've already counted all the goals and stuff, and they're already going in for the turtle attempt coming in from the side of Alter Ego. And members of the side of Omega Esports are being forced all the way back. They just have to defend the turrets. There's no answers towards the side lane right now, being forced upon by both the Yuzong and Baxia in the sort of sense.
Yeah, but Kenji is going to take a little bit of damage, but Yam sees the backup of Hajizi walking up into the lane. He doesn't want to be a part of that. And Omega, I think they're okay for now. They're able to just kind of slowly play the game because the major problem, Lord, hasn't been there yet. Leo Murphy gets a catch onto Hajizi here. This is huge, but now the Black Dragon is coming in towards that back guy. Yam needs to cut him off. Hajizi in trouble. He goes down straight away. Executor's pulled on through. Kenji, without the Firaga armor, can't really do too much, but that just means that Chelly Boy is able to run through.
Chelly Boy with the gap closer and with the Blade of Despair. He deals so much damage onto the side of Omega Esports, it's not even funny anymore.
No, this isn't funny because Kenji, oh wait, his Ferrara armor keeps him alive. Chelly Boy gets on out of there, gets hit by the rotation, but luckily he's got Pi to back him up with the Rejuvenate.
So, in terms of scaling right now, Alter Ego Esports, they're telling us that who needs to scale if you can just end the game early.
Yeah, and every single thing that yells at you, oh, it's all about shutting them down from the get-go, and now Omega Esports so behind. Let's check out some of the items here. Kafizi still building in for those big major items, but he's already got the Endless Battle. Speaking of which, we do have a little bit of action in the jungle.
Oh, the engagement is already coming through. The Sacred Hammers pulled through, as well as the Whirlwind. They are making sure that they are stopping Omega. They should not be walking out, especially in these tight corners against Alter Ego. Udil scaling up real nicely at level 11.
Now, as you can see, the item progression of Chelly Boy here, he went first for the Blade of Despair to get enough damage to burst people down. After that, he went for the Bloodlust Axe. For Pi here, looking at it, he went for the Dominance Ice first just because they had a lot of marksmen onto the other side. You have Haji, you have Curtizi. And after that, he went for a brute force breastplate. That is good itemization from Alter Ego.
He just wants to be able to chase down his targets, especially with the help of the rest of the members like Yam and as well as Chelly Boy, all wanting to do the same thing. They have the mobility to get to the back line, so it makes perfect sense.
Definitely makes absolute sense right now. Now, 10 minutes have passed and we are seeing the Lord taken over by Alter Ego Esports at the moment. This is possibly one of the cleanest games we've ever seen coming in from the Indonesian side. And with that, you can see confidence oozing right in. All they have to do is just to force a pick, and if they do get Kartizi or even Hajizi, you lose so much source of damage.
But you know what? Omega Esports, they're not gonna go down without a fight. They still have their wave clear. That is a plus for them if they really just want to defend this turret.
I mean, you say that now, but they've managed to synchronize the waves together. And Yam, he's going to be pushing on through Last Insanity to try and clear out that wave, but Yam, he's disrupting the team, and now they're going to look for an engagement. They've got one inhibitor. Can they get a second one? The mid one has been destroyed, bottom side has been cleared, and yes, they've been brought down to at least 50% of its HP, but I think it's a win no matter what for Alter Ego.
Oh, of course it's going to be a win for Alter Ego Esports. And yes, it could have gone worse.
And Pi is going to be able to get a little bit of damage in. It looks like Omega giving him a lot more respect than he needs. But hey, he's got 2 items. They're 13k ahead. It's definitely understandable that you don't want to try and force a situation on top of Alter Ego.
Yeah, they've already utilized a little bit of rejuvenation going on to keep them pretty much healthy at the moment. But honestly, I don't see whether or not Omega will commit, but here comes the fight.
Yep, Imperial Justice going to be on top of Heat for now, but it's not going to matter. He's able to flicker over the wall. Yam trying to disrupt it as much as they can. And that Dragon's Tail chucks all four with the help of Pi with the Tortoise Poissons. They run out of options. Jelly Boy finally goes down, but they've already traded a lot of their members to try and crack into the base. You gotta give it a Kartizi and as well as Hajizi. Both of these guys, oh my god, the damage.
Wow, just look at that burst. Like, did you expect Alter Ego to suddenly lose so much health? We definitely got to see that one again if we do have time.
Now that is going to be the Holy Crystal for Yeldy Haze. Kartizi here has the Endless Battle, the Golden Staff, and the Demon Hunter Sword. So they can probably peel down these heroes from the side of Alter Ego Esports, despite them being very tanky. I think they have a clear answer for Yam and Pai. Now, they just need to find an answer on how to catch Udil and Chelly Boy, rather.
Yeah, I mean, they're running out of time here. Every single one of these big team fights, if they end up losing it, they give away at least 5k, reclaim 5k for recovery of their own economy. Now, from what used to be a massive, massive gold lead for Alter Ego, now turning in a lot less. Only 7k differential from what used to be 13k.
Yeah, of course, that fight definitely mattered a whole lot and gives Omega Esports a little bit of breathing room, but here comes Yam already going over the Black Dragon, pressing in towards Yelly Haze as well as Kartizi, while the rest of them arrive and they'll those things.
Oh my goodness!
2 members burst it down, and Omega Esports losing 4 members. Only Heath is left alive, and this might just be the end of the tunnel. And well, Alter Ego Esports will book their ticket all the way to the playoff runs in the lower bracket final.
Oh, I mean, Alter Ego is happy, but oh my goodness, the damage coming out of that Yutong. I thought it was a little bit troll, I'm not gonna lie, but especially we carry 3 items in the classic Demon Hunter Sword, Golden Staff on top of an Endless Battle. You pop that on, say goodbye no matter how tanky you are.
Man, Yam is finding these plays that just downright win them the game.
I don't even know what to say because Benedetta wasn't even there. Like, their main source of damage to clean up these fights. Like, I did not expect that damage, but alright. Leo, you gotta get in on this. I know this is definitely disappointing, but wow, that was a game.
Call it disappointing, but I'm more impressed. This is Alter Ego like we've expected them to be. except with Ahmad. Like, we know Alter Ego with Ahmad in it, this is how they perform. But with Yam in it, it's all the more impressive. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the caster's desk. A quick sweep here by Alter Ego Esports. Omega Esports going to be going back home, knocked out of the playoffs with their heads still high up. I'm pretty sure the Filipinos back home are proud of y'all, but it must end here. 2-0. The Indonesian bad boys with Udil just warming up the seat. And I'm glad like he never missed a beat. Looking at that Veil. There you go. I used to always confuse Valir and Veil, but this time Veil's making a name for himself with that Kanagi skin. There's so much that happened in the game, and I could have sworn that at some point Cortese had it, especially after that turnaround in that defense. But Udil just came back and like, yep, here's a triple. It's over.
And the best part was, many of these spells were still left available, and yet again, they just burnt everything at one go and still could not walk out of that alive.
Yeah. And this is just a testament on how dangerous the lower bracket is.
The lower bracket, besides just the eliminations, just teams are just all the more angry, right? Let's hear from the analysts, Lafell and Wolf, to break this down.
I am really sad, but incredibly happy that we get to see a lot of I would say not really much on the improvements, but more like waking up coming out from Alter Ego Esports. This strength of Alter Ego Esports, it was dormant at the start of the M2 World Championship, but play of time when it all matters, they show up.
Yeah, that's the perfect time where you do want to show up again. It's Wolf, my name is Afel, and right now, honestly, the name of the game of the last game is Rock, Paper, Scissors. They didn't sponsor us, but anyways, is there any... There's no company that
Maybe we should start that.
Anyways, it's all on the draft, and the thing is, Omega didn't drop a bad draft.
Yeah.
It was perfectly good, but the thing is, Rock, Paper, Scissors, where Alter Ego's draft was specifically catered to go against Omega's draft. And right now we will look at the highlights to really see what happened in the game.
Yeah, if the Scissors were Omega Esports, their draft was slower and they are greedy, they want to go for the double marksman setup. Well, the Rock is Alter Ego Esports with their run and choose strategy, but they literally kept on running.
And we can pause over here because you guys just saw the team fight just now where everyone on the side of Omega Esports, they were over here. And the situation, let's look at the draft from Alter Ego. This is their battle formation. We go straight at them, where this is basically a dive composition where Omega Esports, they want to stall. They have a double marksman setup. They have a Louis. They have a Tigreal. It's very, very good in the terms of team fighting, peel, as well as the damage come mid to late game. But Alter Ego Esports, this is what they do. They just dive right in, where everyone from Omega Esports, they want to clump up together. And we look at the Benedetta. We look at the Yuzong. We look at this girl over here.
Silvana.
Thank you very much. Silvana. Every one of them can charge in front.
Yeah. Even the Baxia.
Even the Baxia can go in. The only one in the backline is the Veil, but the Veil can deal heavy burst damage, where Yuzong with the knockup can pull everyone together, and hey, Windstorm, it's gonna hurt.
Maybe later on during the item build when we explain it, I can say how amazed I am with this draft, because it is indeed a run and choose strategy coming up from Alter Ego Esports, which really thwarted the late game base lineup of Omega Esports. Many times in this particular match, they just become aggressive.
We will pause again right here where we saw the Silvana initiated in this small place, but look at how Omega they are. This is the composition that they are using, where this is the formation they have to be. Stick together, win the team fight. But just look at the direction of Alter Ego. There is no hesitation. Yam goes in, everyone else go in. Benedetta with the Electrofine blow, she'll be immune for a few seconds, giving free damage, and every time they're inside of there, it hurts. with the Dragon Tail, it hurts. And the Windstorm again as well.
Well, this is the classic strategy battle wherein the outer circle almost always defeats the inner circle, right? Because the people in the inner circle will just clump up together, and there's just enough AoE from Alter Ego Esports, not only with damage but also with utilities. I do want to take note that Backsh Ultimate, which really destroyed the sustain coming out from Omega Esports.
Now the thing is, it's not like Omega Esports they 100% lose with this draft. The thing is, if they achieve their win condition going to the mid late game, the carry got really fat, as well as the Yi and Shin, as well with proper positioning, with the Tigre initiating, as well as the Lu Yi doing all of those crazy magnetic skills. Alter Ego might lose, but the thing is, Alter Ego is just like, we're not gonna get you to that point. You're not gonna get the items that you want.
No, you won't reach that point. And when that point does happen, there is still the Veil who can dish out the control and the damage in the latter stages of the game. Do take note that last clash, it was started by Yam, and that is totally a different story from the group stages. Yam was disconnected from his team during the group stages, but that was the perfect picture of how Yam was now integrated into Alter Ego Esports. It's as if Ahmad never left.
But honestly, I was very impressed with Celiboy with the Benedetta.
I agree.
Because the thing is, right now is the meta where Benedetta is more of a tanky kind of initiator, as well as a guy that baits other people. But Celiboy using a full damage situation over here, we can see the itemization, the Bloodless Axe, the Blade of Despair, a little bit of a sustainability against the magic damage with the Magic Blade for just that extra magic resist, as well as the shield, and the Queen's Wings. And he played very aggressively, where usually Benedetta fails as a jungler, but he made it look good.
He actually made it look good. And not only that, I think the draft made that Benedetta jungler look good. Now, since we've already talked about the items, I want to talk about the draft really quickly, because Alter Ego Esports, they opened up with Benedetta, they opened up as well with Sylvana. Now, if you're a normal drafter, it would look like Alter Ego Esports are going to go side lane Benedetta, support / mid Sylvana, and then you want the Yuzong and the side lanes. But Alter Ego Esports, after them seeing a double marksman setup from the Omega Esports squad with this carry and this Yi Jin, which is, by the way, incredibly greedy, what they did was to throw in a curveball and put this Veil on the mid lane position, the Sylvana on the tank role, which is much more faster than a Tigreal, and obviously you have the backshot from the side lanes, which was perfect. This is a very aggressive lineup from Alter Ego Esports. The tempo Omega Esports cannot keep up with.
Yeah, we discussed this before, where between Omega as well as Alter Ego, where Omega really likes the late game, but Alter Ego, they just control it very well from the early stages, mid stages, as well as transitioning to the late stages of the game. Right now, let's look at the stats for both of these teams. Look at how convincing it was. 9 towers to 0, 1 Lord to 0. Rich Guy going over to Telly Boy. The carry, Yam, dealing 41,000 damage, which is very impressive coming from the side lane. Sandbag Pi with 81,000 damage absorbed, and Forgotten One, Odil with 9 assists.
An absolute dominant performance from everyone from Alter Ego Esports. You know what, the draft looks really good, and you can say that the draft was well done when everybody from your team is getting all of those important stats, the MVP stats, right? The Rich Guy, the carry, the Forgotten One, and Sandbag, everyone came from Alter Ego Esports. And this might be just for features, but honestly, if you're looking at a full team that really dominates the match, you know that the draft is good.
Especially when it's covered by different people. It's usually the Rich Guy as well as the carry. Same guy. But right now, let's look at the MVP of the game. He's going over to Chelly Boy with match KDA of 5-1-4 with a Benedetta, where Shelly Boy not only did well as the Benedetta, he did well as a Benedetta jungler. And if he was not good with this Benedetta jungler, they cannot do that draft. They have to put Benedetta in the side lane.
We have seen jungler Benedetta. We have seen EXP and gold Benedetta. Yesterday, we saw that tank Benedetta. Man, we're waiting for the mid lane Benedetta.
We've seen the mid lane Lancelot.
It was crazy. It did not work, though.
No, the thing is, like, how do you identify when this hero is good? Well, when you can put him anywhere, even the tank position, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I am a personally really prefer this hero so much. I think that it's an auto ban. Yuzong also falls in that same category just because of the fact that M2 World Championship is, tailored around teams just team fighting in the early stages.
Yeah, and honestly, Yuzong has potential to go experience lane, gold lane, and I would say even mid lane. His Dragon Tail is that huge. But either way, Wolf, we have an interview after this?
We do have an interview. I'm excited to see. I think that my personal MVP of the whole series is Yam so far. Hopefully we get to interview him, but I think it's gonna be Celeboy or either way. But let's find out in quite a few seconds as we take it to Lysander.
Guys, welcome to the interview segment with the winners. And Alter Ego certainly proved themselves to be the absolute winners, taking a clean sweep against Omega Esports. Unfortunate for the Filipino squad, but I'm here with the winner now. I'm here with Yam, and he has been doing very, very well the last few days. And we want to talk with him and find out what goes on behind his playstyle and how his team is feeling after that 2-0. Hi man, how are you doing? Congrats on your 2-0 win.
Thank you.
Did you expect to beat Omega Esports that fast?
No, I didn't expect that at all.
Can you tell us why? What do you think Omega Esports maybe did wrong?
Nggak tahu juga sih. Kayak tiba-tiba kita bisa menangnya cepet aja gitu. Nggak nyangka lah.
We actually don't know, but we didn't expect to win that fast.
Okay. Well, maybe it's the early morning, they were not ready for it. But I want to talk about your Yuchong. A lot of people have said that from the group stages you were a bit shaky, but now playoffs you have been incredible. Your Yuchong looks stronger than other Yuchongs. Is there something you're doing different? Why are you so good at Yuchong?
Nggak ada.
Nothing.
Nothing special?
Yeah, nothing special.
Okay, what about those fans that have that were doubting you in the group stages? What do you have to say to them? How did you improve your confidence?
Pas kemarin kalah itu kan ya banyak lah yang ngehujat saya. Terus banyak juga yang nge-support kayak dari keluarga, dari teammate sendiri, dari fan Ultra Champs.
When we lost before, there's a lot of people trying to put me down, but there were more who has been supporting. So my friends, my family, and also after champs, which Alter Ego fan base.
Ah, very, very nice. All right, so loyal fan base has kept him strong. So there were a little bit of doubters, but what I'm hearing is there were stronger fans. Okay, you're moving on. You guys are still in the lower bracket. It's still dangerous. Who are you looking forward to face later on tonight?
Of course, RRQ.
RRQ, okay. We're looking to face RRQ. Does that mean they lose to Burmese schools?
I mean after.
Yeah, tonight.
Tonight? No.
Malam ini kan ada tanding lagi. Brand versus
Todak.
Ya, siapa yang mau dilawan?
Brand?
Yeah. Okay. You wanna face Brand? Any reason?
Yeah, rematch.
Okay, so time for revenge, yeah? Okay, you have anything you want to say to the fan base that has kept you strong, kept you, feeling good about yourself? Anything you want to say to them, you can tell them to the camera?
Thank you udah tetap support gua walaupun gua awal-awal sempet ya underperform lah. Untungnya sekarang udah balik lagi.
Thank you for supporting Yam when he was underperforming. Thankfully, I'm back on my feet.
All right, awesome. Remember, guys, give your heroes a chance. It is scary to play on the main stage. M2 is the biggest honor a Mobile Legends player can earn for themselves. And for those of you back home, thank you for watching with us. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, there's going to be more Mobile Legends BangBang action coming to you. Stay with us.
Dawn of the day, I hear you call. Face a new challenge, far, far away. Thrill of the fight as we fight to survive. For honor and glory, strong as a knight. Nothing can break us down, we will all wear a crown. We are unstoppable, wear pride like armor and shield. We are unbreakable. again. Forget our troubles, withstanding the pain. Some others are gone, but spirits remain. We'll fight in the names while victory awaits. We're invincible, let's take on the world. Fight for our life. When the world collapses all around us, fight like a knight. Join the fight for our pride. Never off the strive for what you believe in is right. Immortal hero, immortal hero. Immortal hero, immortal hero. We're all invincible. Winning isn't viable. We can fight for our life. When the world collapses all around us, fight like a knight. Join the fight for our pride. Never off the strive for what you believe in is right. Zero to hero, immortal hero. Zero to hero, immortal hero. Immortal hero.
Chivalry is dead. I will revive it. I've got a bullet with your name on it. Way in the desert.
From Malaysia, Team Toda. Iwan. Chiku. X-Ray. Stu. Manatee. Homage. And Boom. Team Toda.
face a new challenge, far, far away. Thrill of the fight as we fight to survive, for honor and glory, strong as a knight. Nothing can break us down, we will all wear a crown. We are unstoppable, we're proud like armor and shield. We are unbreakable, we're all invincible. Now we'll take on the world. We can fight, fight for our life. When the world collapses all around us, fight like a knight. Join the fight, fight for our pride. Never off the strap for what you believe in is right. Zero to hero, immortal hero. Another day is dawning again. Forget our troubles, we're standing the pain. Some others are gone, but spirits remain. We're fighting the names while victory awaits. We're invincible, let's take on the world. Fight, fight for our life. When the world collapses all around us, fight like a knight. Join the fight, fight for our pride. Never off the strap for what you believe in is right. Immortal hero, immortal hero.
From the Philippines, Brand Esports. Coco. View. EJ. Flat TZ. Carl TZ. Lusty. And Rebo. Brand Esports.
Kalau perasaan ya pasti bangga lah bisa bawa nama Indonesia ke ajang dunia kayak gini.
RQ just knowing on the base and another 2-0.
Lagi kalau bisa juara lebih bangga lagi.
E1 has been caught. Fatal Links getting 3. This is huge. Blazing duet. Perfect combo.
Even waktu MPC 5 kita on drop sekejap, apa yang saya harapkan dapat buat lagi better, lagi bagus dan lagi konsisten lah.
シンガポールに来るのは観光のためじゃなくて M2 のために来ています。
There now KCB gets blasted down. He has an immortality. LY4 destroyed by Sheena.
大会に勝つためにたくさんの戦略を持ってきました。
With our bootcamp training and all the hours we put in that we never ever had.
Here comes Pokemon as well. He gets that double kill. My goodness me, shredding them to pieces.
I think we stand a very fair chance in retaining a trophy for Eagles.
Kenji gets caught out. Oh, he hooks him in. He hooks him in.
Sobrang nakaka-proud. Pero at the same time, may pressure kasi yung bansa mo na yung nire-represent mo eh.
Omega Esports, they will just end the game.
Pero confident naman ako na kaya namin manalo.
ကျွန်တော်ထင်မှာတော့ကျွန်တော်ပဲအဲ့လိုမျိုးစိတ်တွေကတော့ဘာမှကြောက်တာတော့မရှိဘူးကျွန်တော်တင်ရတော့
That was so good. It's a triple kill coming in for 8.
ပဲတင်လာတာအကုန်လုံးစောနိုင်မယ်လို့ကျွန်တော်ထင်တယ်
How long can he stand though as you think they will fall?
Aku harap kalian gak pernah tertidur karena our dream is your nightmare, bro.
We
Huwag na kayong umasang makakaskal kayo sa amin. Dudurugin namin kayong lahat.
Comes in, blazing to win. He's got it!
Bren lang, malakas.
M2 World Championship. Join the fight.
Chivalry is dead. I will revive it. I've got a bullet with your name on it.
Legendary!
Way in the desert.
Mobile Legends M2 World Championship wrapped its first day of the playoffs with a great mix of emotions and surprises.
Nice!
Alter Ego snagged the play of First Blood by beating 10 Seconds Gaming Frost for the second time in M2.
Delecto onward Septia. This does not look good. It might just be another mega kill.
Smart missiles abound. Sheena knocks him out. In goes Yam, the menace from Indonesia.
Nice game, nice game.
While Todak breathed a new life and eliminated the last home team, Evo's SG, from the tournament.
Oh, wait 1 minute, and Formash has been caught out. He goes down first. Evos look to turn the fight. They've got 3 under their belt. Make it 4. He just can't get caught. Moon, he finds a great opportunity to jump on top of them. Pokemon, he's going to be dropping this Average Buster in hopes to turn this round where Dragon comes out with the OK Shadow Kill. This is a little too much. He goes forward. Crossbow of tag, taking out the last 2 members.
Nice game, guys.
Next, Burmese Ghouls silenced Brain Esports of the Philippines with impeccable gameplay and a diggy pick.
D will try to go for the enemy team here in the middle of everything. Flap Dizzy trying to control the fight, and Kid just going in with a Matilda, and they get punished.
The pop, the blazing duet, and they are looking for the finish.
Last but not the least, RRQ Hoshi concluded the day by sending Omega Esports to the lower bracket.
There's going to be 4 members from RRQ Hoshi coming in. Oh, and they're so aggressive. Lemon gets taken down first. Blood here drawn by Hajizi. Plus the turtle. Psycho goes down. Hajizi takes him. Here comes R7. Oh, wow.
Airstrike comes through, but Lemon is in the backside wanting to stop this move from Farsa. She can't even hit wings by wings. Hajizi is the next to fall. They're diving.
Oh, no, that's it, ladies and gentlemen.
RRQ, they're looking to close the game.
With that, expect more drama, more intensity, and stellar gameplay today. Join the fight and keep on tuning to M2.
Dawn of the day, I hear you call. Face a new challenge, far, far away. Thrill of the fight as we fight to survive. For honor and glory, strong as a knight. Nothing can break us down. We will all wear a crown. We are unstoppable. We're proud like armor and shield. We are unbreakable. We're all invincible. Now they'll take on the world. We can fight, fight for our lives. When the world collapses all around us, fight like a knight. Join the fight, fight for our pride. Never wrong to strive for what Another day is dawning again. Forget our troubles, we're standing the pain. Some others are gone, but spirits remain. We're fighting the names while victory awaits. We're invincible, let's take on the world. Fight, fight for our life. When the world collapses all around us, fight like a knight. Join the fight, fight for our pride. Never off to strive for what you believe in is right. Immortal hero, immortal hero. Immortal hero, immortal hero. We're all invincible. Winning isn't viable. We can fight, fight for our life. When the world collapses all around us, fight like a knight. Join the fight, fight for our pride. Never off to strive for what you believe in is right. Zero to hero, immortal hero. Zero to hero, immortal hero. Immortal hero.
Chivalry is dead. I will revive it. I've got a bullet with your name on it. Way in the desert. Sir.
You know, here in Asia, it's about lunchtime. And if you're having your lunch, why not a lunchtime game on for day 5 of your playoff right here at your M2 World Championship 2020. And before anything, I'm going to make this a thing. We need to thank the people who have made this possible because they had to go through plenty of safety guidelines amidst the whole current pandemic situation. So very firstly, we do want to thank our friends over at Moonton for powering this entire event and our supporters, the Singapore Tourism Board. We know travel very highly unlikely right now, but if you have any memories of Singapore, please use the hashtag #PassionMadePossible, or when this whole pandemic ends, feel free to come to our beautiful city. Create some memories of yourself as well. And why not as well our friends over at SCOGA, the Singapore Cyber Sports and Online Gaming Association. They've been championing esports talents and careers since 2008. Our friends over at IMDA. And later on, of course, you'll be seeing loads of branding coming your way. Our partners for M2. Want to say a big thank you to Secret Lab, Toomey, SUTL, Singtel, Cathay Cinema. Got some friends tuned in there. Hello, Vampirette. And not forgetting Me Watch as well. And our friends over at Razer. They got official gaming gear coming your way if you want to win for yourself a very nice Black Shark V2. Simply watch us now on Facebook. Leave a comment in the chat section. And like I said earlier, I don't want to be the person picking the winner because I'm pretty sure you have thousands, if not tens of thousands of comments coming your way. And of course, I'm not alone. My name is Joachim Gomez. With me, Lysander, and of course, Mr. Motormouth Lafell, and Mr. Analyst, Mr. Serious Analyst, Wolf. What's up, guys?
Yeah, no, I'm just scared. I don't want to make a bad statement once again and be quoted out of context. I hope not. Fortunately not. Please don't remind them.
No. Like he's always said the good things. Like there's one bad thing where it's like RQ naturally loses, but besides that, and I feel great. Like we went out for a bit just now, and I met a friend from SCOGA, right? Yeah, and then he was like, "Hey, I saw you," and I'm like, "Good. If you didn't, then there's a problem. Like I'm in this event as well, right?"
Yeah.
And then we talk. We made small talk. I talk about how I love Singapore, and how almost as good as Malaysia. And then
thanks. Thanks.
Yeah. He appreciated the joke, right? He appreciated the joke. He appreciates the to me punchlines, and I think I'm well liked in Singapore.
Okay. Wow. Changing a tune. Yeah.
I wouldn't jump the gun though. We need to verify this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who? No, maybe you just saw like, oh yeah, SCOGA, important guy. I better, be a bit nicer.
Yes.
Try and get some of those benefits.
I sound whiter.
What?
Interesting, because but none of us are Caucasian, dude. I don't know.
I know.
What you're talking about.
That was an interesting statement there.
Interesting statement. But I think that's a perfect time to slide into this next upcoming series. Mm-hmm. It is another lower bracket game, best of 3, between Todak as well as Brand Esports. Brand Esports supposedly the favorites to take the entire thing. Now fighting for tournament live in the lower bracket. Thoughts, boys?
Well, my thoughts. Brand lang malakas, so they will probably win.
Translation, please. Translation.
Alright, so Bren ng Malakas is the official hashtag of Bren Esports, which kind of just means they are the only strong team somewhere along those lines.
Okay.
Yeah. I smell sarcasm in there, Mr. Lafell.
Yeah.
You're smelling wrong.
Now, I want to say, because yesterday morning we had Ducky with us on the couch. He looked a bit confident, and then boom, a defeat for Bren. What went wrong for them?
I think that it's more about Burmese Ghouls preparing so much. This is like they did their homework, they did their research, they even made the thesis perhaps along those lines because they really mastered how to deal with Brand Esports, not only with the draft but also when it comes to like the other nuances that we saw. They really read Brand Esports like a book.
Okay, but before we go too ham on one side, let's talk about Todak as well. We have the head-to-heads coming up very soon, but Todak, we expected them to drop to Evo's SG, but no, 2-0 with just a quick lane swap. They actually managed to take it out over the Singaporean team. So what happened with Todak as, we have the head-to-heads come onto screen right now. Talk us through it.
Oh, yeah, I think Todak won because they're better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. As a Malaysian, we allow that. But
Spoken
can I
like,
get some
spoken like a true Malaysian. Yes. There
Yes,
you
can
go,
we get
Lafelle.
some analysis
Yeah.
and can we get some analysis on the stats rolling on the
Hey,
board
you
right
know
now?
what? I have a theory because you denounced your citizenship and
No,
you
no,
became Filipino. That's probably why they won.
No, I don't like Indonesia as much. I'm becoming Filipino again.
Okay.
So please address me by my actual name.
Lafelle TZ.
Lafelle TZ.
There
I
we go.
appreciate
So
that.
give us the professional breakdown of the team head-to-head so far.
This is my professional breakdown. Toda gets better every single game. 9 games versus 6. They have more games to really try things out. And looking at team damage per minute, Toda is ahead, but that's just because they have more games. If we plus, minus, subtract, and divide, Brand is still up ahead. They're still the better team. Brand lang malakas.
Okay. What about? Okay. Can we talk about? Can we talk about Todak changing their lanes though? Has that switched up the stats, or is it going to be switched back? Is there a potential there? Was it just a strategy to counter Evos?
I don't think so. I think that if you're Todak, you really understand that you are stronger when Formbase is playing as your jungler and Chico on the carry / marksman role, right? I think that this is their best form, and against a team like Brand Esports, they should probably be showing up. This is an elimination bracket, right? So they will need to put up their best form.
Toda situation, what I feel like right now, we imagine there's a dog, there's a fish, and there's a cat, and they're going up in a swimming competition. The fish would win, right? Just because it's doing what it is best at doing. And I think that's what Toda is doing right now. They identify Chiku is best at this, Formbase is best at this, Moon is best at this. So now, instead of following the meta, following what people think is best for them, they're like, you know what?
We know what's best for ourselves.
We know what's best for ourselves. We're going to do what we think is good, and we're going to go through with it, and it looks like they're much more comfortable doing what they do best.
That was the best thing that you ever said that I heard, honestly.
The most logical thing, right? Logical thing. I was ready to be confused with the cat, dog, and fish.
I was ready
analogy.
myself, and you're like, okay.
Yeah. You know what? That makes sense.
No, but the thing is, the most magical thing in this entire conversation, Wu was able to talk without the mic.
No, I increased my voice. My voice.
It's like you can talk just like this.
Lapel with the lapel.
Almost like the mic's a joke.
I heard him fine. I don't know how to respond to things like that. So Lafel's one of those guys, that life puts in your way to test you as a host. I think that is the one thing Lafel is.
Do you want me to test you as a host right now?
Here we go.
Okay, yeah.
The examination by Lafel before we get to more stats with Brand and Toda.
Okay. I'm not even testing. It's just that M2, I think, is all about creating memories. Passion made possible. Hashtag. And right now. I want to make memories, Lysander.
I'm scared now.
I want to make a memory with you.
Okay.
And then I will tell that story to other people.
Okay, I'm really scared.
Could you give this back to me? Just give it to me.
All right, Lafel, this game's getting real hard. I need you to carry me. Is there any idea that you might have?
I mean, all I can say is thank you for giving this back to me.
There we go. Player head-to-head right now. Carl Teasy against Chiku. Want to break it down for us, Wolf? As Lafel gets serious for a bit.
Yeah, Carl TC versus Chiku. Very interestingly, this should be a player head-to-head that should start in the jungler role, right? But Chiku kind of changes playstyle. However, this is also a good player's head-to-head because we still get to compare their impacts in game. For example, their KDA is definitely better for Carl TZ because Chiku, I would say, dies more than Carl TZ. Carl TZ is more like your assassin, your very mobile guy. It's very hard to take down, right? But Chiku is also farming as much as Carl TZ. Now, when it comes to damage per minute, that's where we see a difference. Chiku now participates in the team fight more than Carl TZ does because Carl TZ kind of wants to farm more compared to Chiku.
So this is what we saw yesterday from Toda, right? Where me and Wolf, we were talking about how Toda now understands their power spikes even more. They're like, you're strong, let's fight now. And they fight as a team. They're not like picking off, okay, you catch one guy and then another guy just bursts and then goes away. That's not the Toda style. They all go in at the same time, especially Chiku. Chiku would die. He would love to die. He uses his flicker offensively, not defensively. So he's the kind of guy that I sacrifice myself so that the enemy team dies, so that my team can just do whatever they want, which is very, very different from all of the other carries.
Normally you see the tanks risking their lives, but when your carry risks their lives, it's a double-edged sword. You don't want to over-risk it. Right now we have the player lineups on screen. Just want to have you guys take a quick look, see if there's any kind of last-minute changes, anything out of the ordinary. But it doesn't.
I don't really think anything is really out of the ordinary, except for the fact that in their favorite lineup there is no Benedetta and then there's no Yi Sun-shin. However, I feel like even Brand has noticed that Benedetta is just too strong. Like you can use in the gold lane, experience lane, mid lane, jungler, tank. So either way, I still think Benedetta is going to be a top pick and ban in this lineup.
Maybe the only weird thing I'm looking at now is that these are the lineups, these are the heroes that are assigned to players with their lowest win rate. For example, Flapteezy on the backside, it's not his best kit. He might be better off with Lapu-Lapu, for example. Rebo is much better on marksman or scaling heroes. And you obviously want to see Karlteezy in more impactful heroes. I mean, obviously Harley is impactful, but to a certain degree...
Small sample size.
Yes, it's a very small sample
so,
size.
take it all with a pinch of salt. We have to look at the draft once again, but right now, all we're going to do is just make some predictions here and there and see what we can come up with. But Todak, I think we can agree they're going to be the underdogs in this matchup, yes?
Exactly. And right now, as we look at the lineup, 4-Mace, X-Ray, E1, Moon, and Chiku. So Stu, again, will not be subbing in. And looking at the lineup, the most prevalent thing is on Chiku. Look at his favorite hero, the Claude. He used that on the first game against EVOS SG, and he did so well that it was banned out from him. Now, this is the thing. Toda just showed their more comfortable draft yesterday. So Brand, they can take either two ways. One, ban the obviously strong heroes like the Benedetta, the Yuzon, the Yi Sun-shin, or focus directly on the players' favorite picks.
Now, I do have a question, because if you remember yesterday's audience vote between Burmese Ghouls and Brand, it was straight up for Brand rather, and then they lost the game. Is the pressure now on Brand to actually win this, or would Toda be feeling the same pressure coming off a victory against EVOS SG?
I think so. You know what? They didn't have the best response from the Filipino crowd, and I think that there's so many hate messages even. And I feel so bad for Brand Esports because they have been raising the flag of the Philippines, but not getting the same treatment. Like, they're not that loved at this point just because of those losses. So I think that, yes, the pressure is just incredibly high now for Brand Esports.
Yep, and right now we have the player lineup predictions on screen, just where the players are going to be starting out based on the predictions that we have made here. And again, all these subject to the draft. Last minute changes can happen. We did see it in the Todak versus EVOS game, where things suddenly took a switch. So right now, do you think realistically Todak has any more strats left that they haven't taken out of the bag, the goodie bag?
I don't think it's mostly about strats for them right now. It's mostly about how they can force Brand to play their own game. Because that's the thing that I like the most when 4-Mace is in the jungler position. They make the enemy follow Todak's pace, where before this, Todak is more of a comeback situation. It's like, we will let you guys do whatever you want in the early stages of the game. While they do their own thing, Todak learns. And when they learn, they come back. But in this situation, I prefer that they take the front seat and then they're like, I control the pace. You follow my pace and then we will dominate you.
Yeah.
So I think it's more about how 4-Mace dominates the map.
Okay. But yesterday we saw Bruno in a rare cheese pick, and I know Joachim was very excited for it.
I was happy to see someone use Bruno. My goodness,
exactly.
And I've never seen Bruno played that way before. Oh my god! There we go.
Definitely some strategies to take back with your squad, the Kennel squad.
Yes. There's a long story behind the name why we call ourselves the Singapore Kennel Club, but I will explain that in just a while. That's it though. We have audience predictions coming up as well as talent predictions. Let's see what the audience are saying first about it. Wow. Do we call this a close fight?
I think
that's close.
Yeah, I think people put too much trust on Toda. They're gonna lose. So I don't know. Like, what
you're back to supporting your countrymen.
Oh no, I am supporting my Filipino people.
Okay.
Now, you must understand the thing about LaFell is whatever he says when it comes to team picks on who to win, you got to apply the reverse because he doesn't want to apply the analyst or the caster's curse on the favorite team.
Yeah. Well, we will see. But now let's see